Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lady Odds here, Thursday Think Tank, and today's a very fun Thursday Think Tank. In fact, I want y'all to get a little crazy with your ideas today. I don't want to be like normal here. Like, really go ahead and go all out. Make the most absurd suggestions for today's topic if you can, because I really want to discover something new that could be very fun for Scottie to do on his Twitch. That this week, that once again, it's evolving. His Twitch is evolving. It is not the same as it was when he first started doing this after the playoffs ended this year. It is getting more and more interactive with the fans. It's getting more and more like seriously, like he'll just stop whatever he's doing and he'll just say, "Guys, let's just do a quick Q&A." And then we can ask him whatever we want. And he has been answering stuff that you'd be shocked that he's answering. He's answering stuff like, who's the toughest person to play in the league? He's answering stuff, what do you like to eat for breakfast? It doesn't matter what you ask him. If he wants to answer it, he will answer you and tell you a lot. Yesterday was one of the coolest Scottie Barnes Twitches ever. I'm not lying, y'all. This was a really weird one. We were doing algebra with Scottie at one point. That's right. At one point, Scottie started talking about his love for math and say, "I really love math, y'all." And then he started looking up like formulas. He wasn't talking like addition and multiplication, division, subtraction. This man was talking about algebraic formulas. This dude was coming in there with X equals Y times, this and this. I mean, stuff that's like, I hate math in some ways. Like that level of math drives me nuts. But he's all about it. He started spouting off equations and stuff and started taking like math tests in front of us. It was so weird. He's like doing a test in front of us. It was like he was taking his SAT in front of us with English and math questions and stuff like that. It was so crazy and fun and just weird. And that's what I'm saying. He's like, at that point, he's saying, "Guys, what do you think I should watch? What do you think I should talk about? What do you think I should play as far as a video game on my stream?" He wants us to tell him. He wants feedback. So I figured, why not? We have this great resource on the Raptor Freak channel called the Thursday Think Tank. So let's get the hive mind of Raptors freaks thinking about what would be entertaining to see Scottie Barnes do on his Twitch. Now, let's be reasonable and not be gross like some of these people that come in there and suggest all kinds of gross things and say weird stuff to him. But let's think about this seriously. What would be fun as a Raptors fan to see Scottie watch on YouTube and react to? Somebody's already said, "Watch my channel," so don't put that in. we suggested that to him, and he hasn't done it. If he's watched me, he does it privately. But yeah, they've already suggested watch the Raptors freaks. So don't put that in. All right, let me see who's here this morning. I know we're going to have a good turnout today. Nameless got here early, giving some kudos to Monique. Monique's also come in with a bunch of news items and different things going on as far as things like Pascal Siakam and different stuff. But you know what's weird? I just noticed, Monique, you could write all these comments from yesterday. If I see them yesterday, I come in today, they're gone. As soon as I see them from ahead of time, I don't know why they're not there now. So if there's anything that you wrote from yesterday that you want me to make sure I talk about on this stream, Monique, just go ahead and put it in again because it's weird. It's like all I see is Nameless wishing you good morning. And there were a bunch of other comments. There was stuff from Skater Dylan also. Celtics fan was in here talking to us a little bit, but I don't remember what the comments were because I saw them yesterday. But good morning to you, Monique. Always good to see you here in the morning. Super fan Monique Lawrence. Sue is here. And Sue, I love your comment. She's saying, "Good morning, everyone." Well, I guess we can add the dumpster fires, the Nets, the Suns, and now the Celtics. Yes, it is up on ESPN this morning that the Boston Celtics coach, M. Udoka, is facing disciplinary action for a relationship with a member of the franchise's staff. So listen, this is like the Robert Sarver kind of stuff in a way. This is toxic workplace kind of stuff. This is obviously that Udoka was having sex with somebody under him in the team, somebody who has to report to him, somebody who he has some power over. And that's a big no-no in today's workplace world as far as men exerting power they have in the workplace in kind of ways that end up being sexual and stuff like that. And this is a big bad problem. And what they're saying is that he's probably going to be suspended for this entire year as their coach, that they're going to have a different guy coaching them this year, and he's going to have to sit out a year. This is huge news. This is really bad for the Celtics. And Sue's right. These guys, they go up the dumpster fire rankings. Just shoo, forget about Robert Williams missing a month to 6 weeks going in the season from right now because of a cleanup surgery. Forget about that. This is bad. This is very bad. This coach is good. He's been proven good for them last year, and they're going to miss him this year. And the other side effect of this is that if they go with his next number one assistant, their best number one assistant just went to Utah to start coaching them, Will Hardy. So now they got to go to the next guy. And I hear his name's Mazzoli or something like that. I don't know. Well, this is going to hurt the Celtics this year. So Celtics fan, this is not good for y'all. You know, you got your really hot shot kind of young coach who's very similar to Nick Nurse in some ways. There are parallels. And now you can't use them this year is what it's looking like. This is the right thing to do. But I'm sure a lot of people, old school people, are like, this kind of stuff shouldn't be punished. Well, this is the new world, and this is what's happening. And Robert Sarver is selling his team now. The public pressure has come down on him, and he has announced yesterday that he is selling his stake in the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury, and there will be new ownership coming in for that team. He is being above and beyond the game because he's saying, oh, I can't hurt my team that I love so much. I'm really hurting them, so I need to step aside. But of course, he showed in his statement that he has no remorse over this situation, that he's blaming cancel culture. He's saying that in the past, people could be reformed and be okay and get past this and learn from their mistakes and stuff like that. Yeah, we don't believe your bullshit. You're probably going to act out and do fucked up shit still. We're like going forward, even if they just did you a slap in the hand and stuff like that. So yeah, this is good news. And it's good that he's going ahead and doing it without them having to do a lot of the legal processes of doing it, as far as like the owners voting and getting into all and making it more and more ugly. He's realizing he's hurting the Suns, and he's hurting the league of the NBA overall by hanging around and maybe like holding on to something with his own ego. Well, I commend him for at least understanding that he doesn't want to hurt his team, that his loyalty and his love for the Phoenix Suns is talking to him and saying, you're going to hurt this team because you're bad for it at this point. And that's why he's walking away. So at least I commend him for that, but I don't commend him for how he came about it and why he's doing it in some ways, and that he wants to blame cancel culture for his fate at this point. Well, this is a new world, and this is a problem that you can't do this kind of stuff like what Ed Madoka and Robert Sarver are doing in their organizations. It's and that things are balancing out. And sometimes, you got to be some of the first people that get that taste of how it is and how it's going to be. And, you can't be operating the way you used to and stuff like that. Really interesting. But yeah, Sue, I'm going to adjust the dumpster fire rankings, and I will have an updated list of the dumpster fire rankings. We'll go over it before the season starts because there has been some changes in it for sure. Good morning to Mo from Sue. Raymond Jacob is here. Good morning, everyone. Today is a very special day for me. 'Tis the day I had to fight all odds, navigating through the dangerous dark canals and light narrows, reaching with every bit of my life towards the light, all covered and drenched in placenta. Oh, gross. Today is the 38-year anniversary for that glorious moment in history. Guys, it's Raymond Jacobs' birthday. He went a very elaborate and somewhat gross way of telling us this. And I appreciate you, Raymond Jacob, and your quirks and just who you are. You are a badass Raptor freak, and we love you, Raymond Jacob. Happy 38th birthday. And I'm so happy that you're here this morning with us on your birthday morning. Raymond, you are a badass. And seriously, man, let's go to a game. Let's all get a ticket to the Chicago game and meet up with us when we get in there. Good morning from David. Sue's saying happy birthday to Raymond Jacob. Monique is saying that story very true on the Celtics? Thought it had to read it twice. Yeah, Monique, that is true. Madoka's in hot water, and he would probably not be coaching the Celtics this season. And that is not something that we're upset to hear on the Raptors channel. That's for sure. That's not something we're upset to hear at all. Nope. Sue's saying apparently Udoka had sex with a member of the staff. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he did, and they came and found out about it and all that stuff. Okay, Chet's here, guys. We haven't seen Chet the Iceman Holmgren in our chat for a little while. It's good to see you, Chet. I know you're friends with Scotty. And do you have any suggestions for Scotty's Twitch? What do you think would be entertaining to watch on Scotty's Twitch? That's what we're talking about on Think Tank today. Y'all just write in your comments anything you have to say about Scotty's Twitch and maybe the things you want to see content wise. Like, what do you want to see him watch? What do you want to see him play, like video game wise? He's taking suggestions for video games. And also, what would you ask him in a Q&A? Like, you have the chance to ask him any question you want. I will take it to him from here. If you guys ask a question and it's a really good one, I will go and ask it and I'll come back to you. I did not ask about Fun Guy's question about wearing the cornrows like Allen Iverson and Kawhi Leonard. It's just not his style. I don't think I've ever seen him do that hairstyle. So I don't think it's something that he would be interested in doing. So I'm just not going to embarrass myself. Ask him about Fun Guy's question about doing his hair like Kawhi. So yeah, I don't see that happening. Let's see. All right, Chet's saying, "What's up, Raptor Freak? Did you see Emma Doka had an intimate relationship with a female staff member? It's against code of conduct, and highly likely he'll be suspended." Chet's talking to us about this as a young player, a rookie in the NBA. Chet, you are already very much aware of these kind of rules in this world that we live in. That's the thing. The young people understand what's good and bad conduct. It's people my age that don't get it because they got away with it so much before the internet. Well, now things are different and there's a lot more ways of, getting in trouble and having receipts. So yeah, Chet understands this as a young NBA rookie. And yeah, this is unacceptable is what Chet's saying. This is what he's saying. Sue beat me to it. Yeah, well, good to see you, Chet. And we hope you heal fast. And like I said, go get in that Mandarin buffet and just load up a plate full of crab legs and all kinds of good eatings. And we'll lock that door for about 4 or 5 hours and let you just sit in that room and just gorge yourself because it might do you some good in the upcoming season, your second year when you're back from your injury. That's what I'm saying. I want you to be successful, Chet. So I'm saying let's lock you up in the Mandarin all-you-can-eat buffet for like 4 or 5 hours and get your waistline a little expanded. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, put some muscle on there. That's right. Raymond Jacob saying, "Thanks, Sue. I feel like I'm a cougar status now." Raymond Jacob is on the prowl, y'all. Look out, cougar out there. Manther. All right, let's see. Granny Evelyn's here. Good to see you, Raptor Freak. Evelyn, good morning to you and you world traveler and stuff like that. Evelyn, you are in some of the coolest places and like showing such a beautiful architecture on your Facebook. I love viewing the stuff you're posting on there. It's so cool, so cool. And I see the pictures of baby Candace. She looks so happy, such a happy little chunk. Oh, I love baby Candace. All right, let's see. Monique is saying Javon Shepard is now a part of the Raptors broadcast. That's right. That was one of the comments she put in there. This is cool. This is good. Javon has been a part of the broadcast as a guest here and there. He's done a lot of stuff on the 905 level with broadcasting. In fact, I think he was their guy for all the games last year. And now he's moving up. He's going to be on radio with Sherman and Paul in different places and stuff like that. So congratulations to Javon Shepard. Moving on up. And it was really nice to see Alvin Williams celebrating being on Sportsnet again this season with Matt Devlin. So he does not take this lightly. I'm going to tell y'all that. Alvin Williams is going to become better and better professional broadcaster because that's who he is. He wants to get better and he will master his craft as much as he can. He really will. All right, Skater Dylan's here. All right. This is what. All right, your comments from yesterday were erased, so I hope you're just repeating the ones because I forget what you said. Scotty reacts to world's dumbest criminals. Ooh, that's a good one, Dylan. That's seriously a good one because that's the kind of stuff that he could get into. Like he, it's better if it's not NBA, like Shaqtin' a Fool. Like some people have said, watch Shaqtin' a Fool because that's funny and that is really easy to laugh at. But it's also NBA. And it could cause a stir the pot in different ways, and we don't want to see. So it's like stay away from the. Go ahead and watch NFL bloopers or so like. But world's dumbest criminals, that is kind of hilarious in itself. Yeah, for sure. I think that he might enjoy doing that, and maybe I will put that suggestion in the next opportunity that this kind of stuff happens on his Twitch. Yeah, Dylan's not worried about the Celtics losing Emma Doka. Well, okay, this is Celtics fans saying that he doesn't care. It's like that chop the head off the Hydra and the next head pops out kind of philosophy. All right, we'll see. I mean, listen, we'll see. I mean, you're going to have some effect because of this, but we'll see how it all goes. If you guys can just go forward and be fine and everything's fine this season, all right. But that may speak more about like being a head coach in the league and stuff like that. I do not believe that. I think that he is a star young coach and that this will be felt. This will be felt in some ways, but the Celtic fans come confident it won't matter. The next person will just come up and do the job anyway. Sue saying, Raymond, haha, you are only as old as you feel. You are still a young dude. Yeah, Raymond, you are very young. Trust me. As somebody who's almost 10 years older than you, you are a young dude. Trust me. But wait till you get those 4 numbers. And then when you're getting closer to the 5 numbers, then you realize. But even right now, I feel so young. Like, seriously, you can be very young, older and older. It's like all in your mind. Exactly what Sue said. And your body is amazing. You might be shocked, like as you get older, what you're still capable of doing more and more and stuff like that, and older ages and stuff. You may be very shocked. Like, I'm a very good athlete in some crazy ways at 47. You get me out on the basketball court, and I still got some spring in my step and different things that I can do at 47 that a lot of people around my age cannot. And so, stay active and do what you can to stay in good shape, and you'll be able to do stuff later in life, no matter what. Trust me. All right, let's see. Monique is saying radio side, by the way. Yeah. Javon Shepherd's on the radio. Let's see. Happy birthday to Raymond from Evelyn. And all right, let's see. Monique is saying that Pascal made a great donation, by the way. That's right. All right. Monique really is kind of like the person giving me the cue cards and saying, all right, talk about this next. Yeah, Pascal has donated some scholarships to the University of Toronto for people to take at law school. And this is really, really exciting stuff. He's having a home run kind of like couple weeks, whether it's the stuff in Austria with Team Red Bull and the soccer team over there, to like him being all over Europe and Paris, getting a lot of pictures taken with like the Eiffel Tower and just living that European life, jet setting over and then landing and going to the UN and talking in front of the UN about Giants of Africa and basketball on that continent. And now he's come back to Toronto and he's donated scholarships for the University of Toronto at their law school. Pascal Siakam, dang, I have to give you a hand, bro. You're just really, really badass. And what you're doing this is superstar level kind of stuff. Forget all this talk. Charles and Shaq say we don't have a superstar. Well, we got somebody who acts like a superstar up here. He's carrying himself with the grace and tact and social consciousness of a superstar, and that is Pascal Siakam. So get it right. Toronto has an all-NBA superstar that is not 30th on the rankings ESPN. This man needs to be top 15, at the very worst, top 20. So yeah, we've seen how you slighted us. And we talked about it on Scottie's Twitch yesterday. Scottie saw the numbers of where people were ranked, and he agreed that Pascal is too high up at 30, and that him and Fred being at 38 and 39, he likes that. He thinks it's pretty cool. But he feels, I don't know. I think he's where Scottie is. That's honestly a compliment to Scottie, that he's higher than anybody of the other rookies from last year. He's at 39. So that means he's a top 40 NBA player right now. That is all very complimentary about Scottie. And I think Fred's score is pretty fair also. But the fact that we have 3 players in the top 40 is really good. And then OG 75, but Gary isn't in the top 100. We all agreed that was egregious right there. Gary Trent Jr. not being ranked in the top 100. Scottie thought that himself. He said, where's Gary? Where's Gary? And we were saying that in a couple of ways yesterday, because at some point yesterday at noon, Scottie went on Instagram and posted a picture of him and Gary at the OVO Center, saying that they were going to play each other on 2K yesterday at 3 p.m. And it caused a stir. Oh, yeah. It made people like, whoa, Gary Trent Jr. versus Scottie Barnes on NBA 2K23, 3 o'clock showdown. Yeah, all about that. The picture was Gary was in the jacuzzi and Scotty's kind of smiling. And he's saying, yeah, 3 o'clock on his Twitch. Well, people were showing up and coming in, but somebody important for it did not show up. And it was Gary. Gary did not show up. Scotty tried to call him, and the phone was going straight to like, dee, dee, dee. So he was ducking him in some ways. And like Scotty doesn't want to make it seem like he's a coward or he's ducking smoke or anything like that, but he did kind of flop in this situation of not showing up and just kind of playing with them. So it's too bad. Because like Scotty was saying that Gary talked mad shit. Like, oh my God. When they were talking about this around that time when the Instagram went up, Gary talked a lot of trash. Like he was saying, yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass, Scotty, in 2K. No, yeah, we will play. We're gonna play. Yeah, we're gonna play. Well, they didn't play. You didn't show up, Gary. So hopefully this will happen at some point because there has been already accrued shit talking between Scotty and Gary about who's a better 2K player. And I really wanted to see this. I was like, man, my afternoon's gonna be fun. But Gary didn't show up. And it's too bad because it was going to be something else. It was going to be huge. Now, somebody who did show up, and this was a whole kind of, there's a lot. Like this whole stream should be just about Scotty's Twitch, but there are other news stories like the Canadian women winning against Serbia and Imadoka and stuff like that. But there is a lot that happened on Scotty's Twitch yesterday. Bronny came back in. Bronny, yeah, LeBron's son. He comes into his chat like almost every time this past week. Bronny has showed up, but the chat is onto this Bronny. This is not the real Bronny. Sure, they've got the verified check for Twitch, and the name is Bronny, and everybody thinks they're Bronny, but Bronny's account on Twitch has been hacked apparently since 2020, and that there's been imposter Bronnies running around on Twitch for a while. And this Bronny was asking Scotty to make him the mod of his channel and asking him all kinds of crazy stuff. And then he got outed. And he was kind of getting mad. He's like, what's going on? Why do you guys not think I'm Bronny? Well, Scotty got his phone out and he literally called Bronny on the phone. He said, are you talking to me on my Twitch stream right now? Oh, you're not? And that's how we knew it was imposter Bronny. So we were sussing out imposter Bronny and helping real Bronny get on the case. Yeah, we were a little bit of Twitch detectives yesterday. And Bronny came in later and he said, what did fake Bronny start asking y'all? What did he want from y'all? And we were like, well, he wanted to be a mod. And he was just kind of throwing his weight around that he was LeBron James's oldest son. Well, there's a fake Bronny on there, y'all. If you see the name Bronny on Twitch, don't assume that that is the real Bronny, even if that purple check mark is next to his name. Because that ain't Bronny. It's not him. And it just was a cold, little weird murder, not a murder mystery, just a little Twitch mystery going on in there. And it was really funny to see Scotty get on the phone and say, yeah, I'm on the phone with Bronny and he's telling me he's not you. Yeah, it's good stuff. Entertainment. That's what I'm saying. What is entertaining to see Scottie Barnes do on his Twitch stream? Because it is getting into other things like algebra. That's what I'm saying. He got the textbooks out. I felt like I was on an online course for a little while. The way Scotty was talking about math, he was teaching us. We're talking about hypotenuses and quadratic equation and stuff like that. I felt like I was prepping to get back into FSU, the way that we were talking to each other and stuff like that, about the math and stuff like that. It was really weird, surreal, and cool. Like if you had told me a year ago that I would be on Scotty's Twitch doing algebraic equations with him, I would have told you you're crazy. Like what world, what path in like alternate universe would have me talking to Scottie Barnes about algebra and the fans talking to him? He's teaching us algebra. It really did feel like an online course. It was very strange. I'm not going to lie. It was very strange. It's very cool though. Raymond's getting love back for all the birthday love. Happy birthday to Raymond Jacob. Happy birthday. All right, let's see. Monique's saying, Lex, thoughts on T-Mac's comments? Shaking my head. He's a homer. Yeah, all right. I saw that clip that you posted yesterday, Monique, and once again, I'm glad you brought it up. T-Mac has come out in an interview. I don't know how old this interview is. This interview may be a little old and rehashed at this point. I hate seeing these kind of interviews, and I understand why he went back. And I hate that this is his mentality. And it is true. And it makes sense. And I mean, you think about it. T-Mac and Vince Carter both went back to Orlando. That's where they're from. And he said that was a huge part in why he left Toronto, is wanting to be home. wanting to be like 2 hours away from where he grew up and playing for the team that he grew up watching. Like he was a big Magic fan. He liked Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott, Shaquille O'Neal, Anthony Hardaway, Magic days. And that was a big reason why he left Toronto, is that he did want to go home. I get it, T-Mac, but you've also said since that you regret leaving Toronto, that you wish you had stayed. So there's a little bit of conflicting things there with Tracy and stuff like that. But he's admitting that players like Kawhi want to go home, that they enjoy playing in their home state or where they were from. And I know this is something like, listen, I could get real sensitive and worried about this with Scottie. And I could tell you that the things that make me worried that he may leave for these similar kind of reasons with Tracy, that there are signs that he may be this dude. But I really want to believe he isn't. I really want to believe he's a real one and that he will have loyalty to the Raptors. But there is an off chance, Monique, that Scottie could very well have the same kind of philosophies deep down inside that Tracy McGrady has about playing in Florida. And I hate that. I hate to say that. I don't think he necessarily has an affinity for the Heat specifically, but I think he might want to play for Orlando or Miami down the road. This is a Raptor fan saying this begrudgingly. I hate this. Let's get him ensconced in success and happiness and money here in Toronto, and none of this will happen. But yeah, I hate clips like what you posted, Monique. In fact, let's bury it in the backyard and never see it again. That T-Mac clip. It's stupid. Who cares? I hate it. Because, like, listen, I've heard Scottie complain about Canadian taxes in the last month on his stream, and I don't like hearing that. And these are all things that point to signs and stuff like that. You know, it's too early to worry about this. And we have a lot of success to accumulate before the end of Scottie's rookie contract that'll make things a lot more harder for him to make decisions to want to leave, is what I'm saying. So, all right, Sue's saying, I got my tickets to Raptors versus Bulls. Yes. I can't wait to see all you guys who are going. I think I'm in section 317, but hopefully we can get together and see each other. I really do think that what's going to happen, Sue, is a lot of season ticket holders are going to get caught off guard by this game. They're not going to be able to unload their tickets, and there's going to be a lot of empty seats. And we'll hopefully be able to just all sit together no matter what and just grab like a couple of seats that are all in a row somewhere and do it. Of course, I have my methods for doing this, and I don't want to talk about my secrets here. But we'll just get together. We'll rendezvous in the building, and then we'll get that Raptor Freak cult contingency in the building together, cheering loud, hopefully. Yeah, I want to see if we can become a force in there for noise. Yeah, that's what I'm all about. Nameless is saying, happy birthday to Raymond. I enjoyed the story of your journey down the birth canal. You guys are gross. We don't need this kind of imagery popping in our heads, placentas and birth canals and stuff like, ooh, all right, let's see. Isaac Campbell's here. Good to see Isaac. Kelly Olynyk reportedly going to the Jazz in exchange for Bojan Bojanovic. Now, is Olynyk what? He's on Detroit. So does that mean Bojan's going to Detroit? Tell me the team that Bojan's going to. I don't care as much as Olynyk going to Utah, because Utah really is a rebuild and a tank team this year. But that means I think that Olynyk was on Detroit with Casey. So that means Bogdanovich might be going to the Pistons. And that's the thing that I want to know more about, that side of it. Dylan's saying, don't forget the biggest word in the Doka story was his consensual. The only rule he broke was an in-team rule. All right, Dylan. And then he'll miss no time. It's not that serious. Actually, you know what? This, even though it's consensual, that doesn't make this okay. That's the thing we're saying, is that the power structures in franchise or in organizations and companies, when you have some power, like you're a manager or you're a boss or something like that, when you have a sexual relationship with somebody who works underneath you, it doesn't matter if it's consensual. It doesn't matter if that person's totally down and is into it. They could be the one who initiated it and got you into it. That doesn't matter. It's about the power dynamics of the situation and the history of men lording over women and taking sexual favors from them by having power over them. So even if she 100% was into it, and maybe it was her idea, there's still the optics of it that like he had power over her. And that's the problem. And this isn't just an internal thing. This is a thing that's across the board. This is similar to what Robert Sarver was kind of doing in some ways. He abused his power as the owner of the team to do inappropriate things. And this isn't an inappropriate thing. The NBA team is a professional atmosphere. And that this isn't like high school coaching or something like that. You could go and have sex with your assistant coach or something like that, or a helper or something like that, or a cheerleader or something like that. This is, it doesn't matter. That's consensual. This is still a problem, and they're going to deal with it, sure. But I think they could have poo-pooed it and swept it on the rug and tried to get away with not even talking about it. I like that they're out in the open with it, and they are dealing with it, because that is progressive. This is why LeBron James said he's proud on Twitter yesterday that he plays for the most progressive, best sports league in the world, is because of stuff like this. That, this may be something that's everyday kind of stuff in baseball or football or hockey, and no big deal. Sweep it under the rug, keep it hidden. But the NBA is trying to be a leader for cleaning out this kind of toxicity and power structures with leaders and coaches and people, bosses, managers, and things like that. And that, if this is the way that this would be handled in any kind of company, as far as like if there's somebody who's in charge and they're using their power to kind of be in a relationship with somebody under them, that is never right and never good, especially when the person, I mean, it's both ways, whether it's the male or the female is the boss and they got the person underneath them. Like if it was a guy and they had a female boss and they were using them for sex, yeah, sure, it sounds like a fun porno for the guy, but it's actually not good also. It's the same kind of thing. So let's see what else he's saying. He'll miss no time. It's not that serious. Yeah, he's going to miss this year. They're going to suspend him for the whole entire year. That's what they're saying right now. Like I can go to ESPN right now, and Woj has an article, and he's saying that they think that he will be suspended for this entire year, that he will not be coaching this whole season. So that is going to affect y'all. It is going to affect the Boston team, no matter what you think, because he really came in like gangbusters last year and kicked some ass as the coach. Now you're going to have a whole new rookie coach this year, 2 years of rookie coaches in a row, and he's not the top coach on their team and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how bad it is for them, how much it affects them. But don't expect him to get a pat on the wrist. They're coming down on him, and they're going to make it a year probably. That's what I'm hearing. He's going to be suspended and will not be able to coach the Celtics for the entire year coming up. Yeah. Let's see. Monique is saying 30th year anniversary of Sportsnet today, I believe. All right. Well, congratulations, Sportsnet. I actually hate Sportsnet for a lot of different reasons. But, congratulations to them. They're a baseball channel. They treat the Raptors poorly. And I'm not a big fan of that channel. I don't like the way they cover them. I mean, I love Alvin and Matt, but there's a lot of things about how Sportsnet has treated the Raptors over the years that I don't like them. I'm not much fan of TSN either, but I like TSN better than Sportsnet if I had to pick between the two and how they cover the Raptors. But congratulations, 30 years and stuff like that. Nameless, cheers. Monique saying, well done, Sue. Go Raptors. Yeah. Randolph Phillips is saying, good morning. The most informative gang. Blessings. Thank you, Randolph Phillips. Now, especially because Scottie is not keeping the Twitch streams up anymore. Nobody can go review them anymore. They are not getting posted. And it's partly because he's more off the cuff. He's more saying whatever he feels like saying. And if there's no it's not there for people to go check up on, he will be a little more loose with what he's saying. And that is true. So I think that it's good that he's doing this because he was getting clipped a lot and he didn't want these clips to go out. So he just doesn't let it be posted. You have to be there live to hear and see what he is saying on his Twitches now, because there's no receipt anymore. And that's why this is one of the best places for you to get Raptors content, because I'm going to be there every second, every minute watching what's going on. In fact, I watched a secret session of 2K last night for almost 2 hours on Lloyd's stream. That Lloyd streams when Scottie's not streaming sometimes and they're playing, and you can hear Scottie and see Scottie playing on Lloyd's stream even when he's not online. And there's only like 3 of us in there, me and 2 other diehards that are always on there. So you seriously are getting the most detailed, in-depth information about Scottie Barnes' Twitch from this channel than you will find anywhere else on any content about the Raptors anywhere. I don't care who it is. Luca, I don't care if it's Raptors Digest. I don't care if it's Locked On Raptors. I don't care who it is. They do not cover the Raptors as closely as I do. And that is because of this Twitch that I am there. And like I said, last night I watched Scottie play with his brother John and Lloyd and Nick and these guys, and it wasn't even on his stream. It was on Lloyd's stream, and I could hear them talking. And he's different when he's not on his stream. He's a little bit more out there, and John's way more talkative. Like Scottie keeps John quiet because John's off the chain with some of the things he says. His brother is crazy and says something, and he had some Chick-fil-A last night that had him burping and belching like crazy. The man sounded like an alligator. Is where every once in a while Lloyd's like, "Come on, John, be quiet." He's like, he's like burping at Lloyd to piss him off and stuff like that. And then at one point, Lloyd was the only one playing any defense and rebounding. The rest of them were all cherry picking and kind of just keeping up the court. And Lloyd's complaining. He's like, "Y'all are not helping me rebound. Start helping me rebound." Lloyd's getting all the rebounds, not getting any help. They are winning, though, and they're doing really well. And they're kind of laughing at him and stuff. So at that point, Lloyd decided, I'm only going to play half court. He stopped running up and down the court. He just stayed at the defensive end and watched them all play 4-on-5. And Scotty's like, "Why aren't you coming back, Lloyd? Why aren't you coming back?" He's like, "I'm on strike." Dude was on strike. He might as well have had a picket sign standing at the defensive end and just waiting in there. It's like, dude, you're not burning any cardio yourself running up and down the court. That's pixels. That's animation. That's a video game. Don't be lazy in the game. You can run up and down the court. You're not tired. No, he was standing there like he was tired, like in real life, and just standing at one end. He did not play the offensive end of the court for a couple of games at the end of the night last night. It was hilarious. And I was like, "Lloyd, I understand why you're doing this because nobody's helping you board and you're having to battle like 3 or 4 guys on the other team to get any rebounds. And you just want one of them to come in there and help you battle." It was hilarious stuff. But that's what I'm saying. Randolph Phillips. This is the content. You won't hear about that part of things. Anybody else? They're not going to talk about this because they don't know this happened and stuff like that. So I appreciate you, Randolph. And what else is Randolph saying? He's saying, he has another comment here. The Detroit Pistons are finalizing a trade for Utah Jazz wing Bojan Bogdanovic in exchange for big man Kelly Olynyk and guard Sabin Lee. Sources told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski on Thursday. Okay, well, this is good for the Pistons. This is another weapon for them. They have a pretty good roster in a lot of ways. Like, in fact, I think the Pistons are going to make a jump this year. I'm already on record as saying that Casey's model for how he develops a team each year is like, it's the first couple of years is just establishing culture, getting good habits, getting these guys primed and ready about how he likes to run his ship. And that it is a launch pad for this team to actually get going and get back in the playoffs and be a playoff team again. I think this year is going to be the year that Detroit is going to leap back into being in playoff contention. Not maybe full playoff contention, but they will make the play-in this year. Trust me. Detroit will. And as I said in my bold predictions a couple weeks ago on a Thursday, I think Detroit's going to be very similar to Cleveland record-wise this year. That people think Cleveland's going to take off because Mitchell showed up. I don't believe it. I think that Detroit and Cleveland will be very similar, and they'll be around Atlanta also, and they'll all be around like the 7, 8, and 9 of the league. Of the East and stuff like that. So yeah, good information, Randolph, and thanks for confirming that it is a deal with Detroit. Rank Scrub saying Scottie should play games that pressure his mechanics with the in-game movement. My preference is a game called Smite. Smite. That's very interesting. He would try it. I'm serious. He'll try anything. He was playing Run 3 yesterday all of a sudden. It's like he just took a break in between games. They're playing on rec. And they're 5-on-5, and it's like all the rules and everything like that. And all of a sudden, Scotty's like, "You guys tell me when we're starting to play again." And he's playing this Run game. I don't know if you know Run. It's a little character running. He has to jump over holes. And he's playing it. It's like, this is kind of cool. And he was glitching because like he'd miss, and it seemed like he'd fall through the hole, but somehow he'd jump over and keep going and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys know the Run game, but Smite. Okay, Smite is a game maybe we should suggest to him. The thing about him pressuring his mechanics and stuff, he is definitely getting work from playing 2K for the NBA. Trust me, because the way rec works is there's different places you can play on NBA 2K23. There's places where you can go and play 1-on-1, you can play 2-on-2, 3-on-3, stuff like that. And some of them are more informal. Some of them are half courts, some of them are full courts. And then there's the rec. And the rec is with refs and with the lines. Like the other courts, they don't enforce like out of bounds. They don't shoot free throws. It's basically like playing pickup ball, like you would down the street here in Toronto at a park. But in rec, they have a ref, and you have 5 players, and they enforce the rules, and you shoot free throws. So in the rec, you really have to have like a 5-man team that works in concert together. To be really good at rec, you have to have your 5-man teamwork down. And if you practice together, you're a lot better than other teams, even if they have really good players on there. If they're not together and they don't play together, then you can beat their ass. So that's the thing with rec, is that in some ways it's a simulator of the NBA. And that when they're playing, this is really interesting. They're calling stuff out like the players would on the NBA court, like when they're talking on defense. Like Scottie will say stuff like "go to the corner" or "back door" or "hey, hey, 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 cut, cut," and like this is the kind of stuff that he would say as a real NBA player in a real NBA game. So in some ways, he really is like in a flight simulator for a pilot. That he is simulating game situations and different things with spacing and where the players are playing off of each other. So he is actually kind of building his basketball IQ in a roundabout way by playing so much NBA 2K23. So that is very interesting to me. That that it is worthwhile in some ways. Besides the hand-eye coordination kind of stuff, he's really practicing his mental computer that makes split-second decisions in the moment and how to be successful on the court. And that may actually translate to some stuff on the real court. And maybe part of the reason why he's so good at split second making the right decisions in the real game, because he has years of playing 2K games. And it's something that is really fun for him. And that's the thing. He's Scottie basketball. He's at OVO working out in the morning. Then he's going and grinding on 2K for the afternoon, takes a nap, goes back to OVO, shoots some more, and then he gets up. It comes home and plays some more 2K. Its life is basketball. It's just different shifts of virtual basketball and real basketball is what's going on with him. It's crazy. It's so crazy. It's so good. But I'm going to remember that in game name Smite. Another game he played once was this game where you have 2 items on the screen and you have to pick which one got searched more on Google. I don't remember what the name of that game is, but it was really fun. It'd have like the Pope, and then it would have like chocolate bunnies, and you'd have to guess which one got searched for more on Google or something like in search engines. And then if you're right, you get the next one, you keep going and stuff like that. That game's a lot of fun. So he's really open to doing all kinds of different weird games. They don't have to be super polished or great. They could just be online on your web browser, like Run 3. Or they could be something like something on the PlayStation 5, like Friday the 13th or Fall Guys Multiverses, Fallout stuff, not Fallout, Fortnite, stuff like that. So yeah, good suggestion, Rank Scrub, and I will bring up Smite to him, and at a point where it makes sense, because right now he's trying to get his character to 40. That is the only thing he cares about. In fact, he was trying to do it last night. He may very well have done it late last night because he was at 39. And he said, I want to get my 2K character up to 40, and then I will stop playing 2K and I'll play other video games again. And that they were actually talking about having a Friday the 13th game coming up because it's going to be October soon. They want to play that scary game late at night. And they're planning to have a session of Friday the 13th soon, Lloyd and Scottie. So very cool stuff. Sue saying good morning to Randolph. David's retracted his message. Monique is saying, so thanks for the heads up anyway, Lex, on Scottie Twitch. So yeah, no problem, Monique. I saw that and I knew you would really want to be there if Gary was playing Scottie. And it's too bad it didn't work out. But I have a feeling that it will at some point and stuff like that. I really do. Scottie Twitch is so weird. Like I'm saying, like we could be sitting there and all of a sudden Terence Ross is in the room with us. And he's just hanging out like in the chat with us. And we can actually talk to him also. It's a really, really weird phenomenon to see different celebrities like Bronny and Terence and Adin Ross and Flight show up in his chat just all of a sudden and talk to him and stuff like that. That's that kind of thing. And at one point, a fan came in and said, "Hey, Scottie, I'm from Poland. I'm watching you in Poland. I love you. You go Raptors." And Scottie said, "You're in Poland and you know who I am? Wait a sec. Whoa!" Like he's like, Scottie does not understand his fame totally. Like he really doesn't. It's really weird to see this inside look of how a young athlete that's blowing up as a rookie of the year and just being like a new young face in the NBA, how he has to reckon with fame coming at him all of a sudden. Like getting recognized in public is something he's not used to totally yet. And his head has a hard time wrapping around the idea that somebody in Poland gives a shit about him. It's weird. So like watching him deal with fame is very interesting. And I hope it doesn't change his character too much. He did say this yesterday that he used to scooter more this summer, but there was something that happened when he was scootering around Toronto one day, and a guy started chasing him. Like run up on him. He's like, "Oh, Scotty," and start running at him. Well, Scotty didn't want to be caught, so he was like booking on his scooter to get away from him. And he's like, "Dude, why are you chasing him? He doesn't like that." He really, really wants people to respect his private space in public. If you see him out, maybe wave to him or say, "Hey, Scotty," but don't stop him. Don't try and do stuff with him. He said if you're a kid, he'll take a picture, but otherwise, he doesn't want to be stopping to take pictures with people. And he'd rather you not bug him in public. He just wants to live his life and stuff like that. Like last night, I think he said he was going to go out to dinner and eat at a restaurant downtown because people mentioned Soto and stuff like that. And he's like, "Man, maybe I should go out and have a nice dinner on the city in Toronto tonight." That's what he was saying. I was like, "Dude, do that, man." I could just see you rolling up to one of the best five-star restaurants in downtown Toronto and getting your own little private room in the back and just having the finest cuisine laid out in front of you on the table, Scotty. Stuff like that. So there's a lot to talk about from his Twitch. Like I said, there's a lot that's been happening on there. That's why today's really about that today. Yeah. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Scotty is learning to become an adult and exposed to different cultures. Yes, Cool Cat's another regular who's always in there. Almost always she's in there and stuff like that. So she knows what's going on with him to a degree too. You know what? This is an interesting bit of news, Cool Cat. I think you were there. I'm not sure if you were. But at the end of his stream yesterday, he watched a video of caring for Rottweilers. Yeah, it was really interesting. It was very cute. Like he's going, "Oh, look at this cute Rottweiler." And they had like a full grown Rottweiler and they're grooming it. They're like washing it and brushing it. And they put on this thing over its head to cover its ears so they could be safe. And I said it looked like an otter. And Scotty said, "Don't diss that dog to me." He's got mad at me because I said it looked like an otter because his ears were down. And I think otters are cute. I'm not dissing it when I said it was an otter, Scotty. But he got mad at me because he's like, don't disrespect the dog because I called it an otter. But anyway, they have all the women in the chat and the people are going, "Aw," and he's going, "Aw," himself, like watching it. And he revealed to us the reason why we haven't seen Cardi on his stream recently. Yeah. And it's because Cardi's at boarding school. Cardi, he found out that he's not able to train the dog. He's had a really hard time since he got the dog training it in any kind of way. So he sent Cardi to boarding school. And Cardi's going to be away for like a month. And that's part of the reason why in the last week or so, every time somebody kept asking, "Where's Cardi? How's Cardi doing?" She was not there. That he had sent her a while ago. And it was sad to him. He just didn't want to answer those questions. He's very sad about her being away for a month. And that he had this moment at the end of his Twitch yesterday where he was like kind of exhausted because he's really tired. He wanted to take a nap and also kind of have an emotional moment about missing his dog and stuff like that. So that's the scoop on Cardi. Cardi is away getting schooled to be more obedient and be a good dog. And it's not even in Toronto. The place that Cardi got sent to, it's like 2 hours away from Toronto. Like they didn't have a good trainer or place to do it in Toronto. So he sent the dog like out of the city to go get boarded and stuff like that and taught obedience school. So that was very interesting to me. But, Cool Cat's right. Like Scotty's getting exposed to all kinds of different things, fame, people from other cultures, and just the way Toronto is with the way, everybody's here and stuff like that and all that kind of stuff. And it's cool. It's cool to see him on this journey. And like I said, Open Gym is an inside look at things that is on another level, but this is something totally different. Like this is unfiltered, like real time, getting his real reactions and expressions in the moment on different things and stuff like that. It's really cool. All right. So Monique has brought up the great win by Canadian women in Australia last night. Let's talk about it. Doug Smith is reporting this morning on the Toronto Star that the the Canadian women's national team has won over Serbia in the World Cup opener, 67-60. It was a tough game. Serbia was playing very tough on the boards, and it was a tough win to grind out and get. Really nice to see Kia Nurse out there after a long, long injury, finally back out on the court competing, and she started and played well. The women did really good job. Now they play France tonight at 4 a.m. So if you're going to be up in the middle of the night tonight, watch the women's national team for Canada play in Australia against France tonight, 4 a.m. You have to be a real one to be up for that one. But this is a great start for World Cup for Canada and the women's team. And hopefully they can continue to just have good success against these teams and do really, really well. Kudos to Team Canada. Let's go. That's right. Right, Justin Bieber? That's right, ladies. Good job taking down Serbia. Now let's go get the French. Go Canada. Alexi's my son. All right. Let's see. G saying, hopefully Fred can teach Scottie how to invest, etc. Scottie did talk about this a little bit. Like he's a businessman, as he put it yesterday. At one point, he said, y'all, I'm a businessman, because he revealed that when he was at Florida State, he studied finance. He studied business school. I know where the business school is on Florida State campus. It's right near the Union, Student Union over there. So Scottie is a businessman. He's going to be probably like a lot of different NBA players. Like Thad Young is a big time businessman. I don't know if y'all know this, but he has stock in all kinds of big companies that are making money. In fact, Thad is extremely successful with picking businesses to put money into and making money off of them. I forget what company it was he was celebrating the other day on his social media, but I do know this about Thad. We know Fred VanVleet has got all kinds of ventures and endeavors. The thing he's doing with his brother Darnell with weed right now, that's very interesting, and stuff like that. So Scottie, he's looking into business investments and becoming a businessman, stuff like that. Magic Johnson's another great example of somebody who's been extremely successful outside of basketball with his business decisions and things that he's done, stuff like Shaq's another one. So there are role models and people for Scottie to look up to and see the path to being a successful businessman. And he is very much business minded for this kind of stuff. He is all about this and stuff like that. So getting with Fred and talking to him about his strategies and what he's done and maybe pitfalls he's fallen into that he can avoid, Scottie can avoid and stuff like that. That's pretty smart and stuff like that. But this is definitely something about Scottie's personality, that he is going to be an outside the NBA kind of businessman with companies and investments and stuff like that. And he was talking about it yesterday, actually. Cool Cat saying, I would love Kelly Olynyk to be on our team. There was a point in time when I would want that, but I don't anymore. He pisses me off. Like, I'm not going to lie. I love that he's on Team Canada. He's such a fighter and stuff like that. But in some ways, I really hate playing him. Like, he's always had like this. There's something about him in the Raptors organization. His mother worked for us very much back in the day. She was like one of the first timekeepers for the Raptors organization. And his father also has connections to the Raptors too, like in Toronto. They lived here, but then they went out to BC, and he kind of grew up in BC, but he was born in Toronto. Now, Kelly is weird. Like, whenever he plays Toronto, he always takes cheap shots on our players. And he seems to have big games against us. He's one of these Canadian guys that likes to get up and play really good against the Raptors. So he's been the enemy for so long. I'm just ingrained. Plus, he was on the Celtics for a while. He's been on teams that I just hate, that I actually hate Kelly Olynyk at this point. He's like one of the few Canadian players that I don't really like. And he's at the point in his career where I don't really want him on our team. So I'm not with you on this, Cool Cat. He's not on my list of guys that I want. Now, he could be very valuable and do a good job. I'm not saying that he wouldn't do that, but he's just not the kind of guy I want on my team at this point because of accrued hatred and stuff like that. It's very similar to Goran, because I've seen Kelly do dirty shit to Raptors over the years, and I'm like, I hate this dude. Is really where I'm at with him. There's other guys like Corey Joseph I love to death. But he's similar in that kind of way. Like, he will try and kill the Raptors since he left too. But at least it's not in the physical, goonish kind of way that Kelly Olynyk will do. Like, he will literally take cheap shots on OG and people like that. And I'm not down with that. I'm not okay with goons, even if they're Canadian and they're from Toronto. Raymond Jacobs saying, would you be upset if Scottie doesn't end up a homer, but eventually leaves on great terms like Kyle. Maybe Scottie wants to experience playing at home when he's older, but I hope he retires here. This is a great question, Raymond Jacob. And this is a tough question. This is one that maybe we don't want to talk about. Well, I thought about this a lot recently, especially this summer at times when I felt like, Scottie may not be a Toronto lifer. He may be somebody that does want to go back to the States and do something like that. And if he does leave, hopefully it will be on good terms, like with Kyle and stuff like that. Well, this is what I told myself, and this is what every Raptor freak should think. The team is bigger than any single one individual, and that this team will survive and do very, very well, regardless of whether Scotty's on it or not. In fact, if we're not going to have Scotty be the face of our future because he does not commit to playing for the Raptors in the future when opportunities and changes, the contract and stuff like that, if he does make those decisions, well, we could go a Precious route instead. Why don't we build around Precious? And we have options. We have so many different options. And that's the thing is that if this does not, if I'm saying this is going to be fine and everything is going to be okay, I want Scotty to be a lifetime Raptor and play for us only for his own whole entire career. I'd love for him to be like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. But if it doesn't happen, I have faith in the Raptors organization that we will make the best of whatever happens and we will have somebody else. It's just like the coaching staff for the Celtics right now is a hydra that chop the head and another head will pop up and take the place. The same thing for us. Next man up mentality. And if we're not going to build the franchise around Scotty because Scotty doesn't want to play here and he wants to go back to the States, then we'll build around Precious. It's that simple. So, you know what? Listen, it really is up to Scotty in some ways. We understand that, listen, I've seen some of the tells that tell me that he may not want to play for Toronto for his whole career. And I hate to say it, but I'm saying it as a very, open-eyed person who's watched his Twitch all summer. But I really hope that he is a real one, that he does follow the path of Fred VanVleet, Alvin Williams, DeMar DeRozan, people like that really do give a shit about the Toronto Raptors organization and want to be a lifer. It's your choice, Scotty. It's really up to you. You can listen to all the bullshit and noise and be like, oh, I could do better in the States or this, or I want to go home like Tracy did or anything like that. Or you could just say, hey, I want to be a Raptors lifer because this organization has been so good to me. And these are the guys I want to play with. And this is the right place for me. Well, we can't control this when this time may come up. And we'll just have to see what happens. But know that the Raptors are going to be okay no matter what. We will make things work out no matter what. We don't get into lose scenarios. We have no lose scenarios. We win no matter what happens. And I'll say that about it. And remember that, Scotty, when you're trying to figure out when you're a free agent at some point, years from now, you remember that. And hopefully he does see what I just say, because that is the damn truth of the situation. This organization is bigger than any single one individual. I don't care who it is. Now, Masai Ujiri may be the closest thing to being essential for this team. But otherwise, everybody else can be switched in and out. And there will be somebody else that will come in and do it just as well, if not better, and stuff like that. So there you go, Raymond. I don't know if that's the answer you thought you were going to get from me on this. I don't like talking about this, but it is something I've thought about recently with things that he said. Like I said, like having Heat fan in there the other day and not quieting him down and letting him run all over us and talking about Miami trash and this Canadians suck and all this stuff. That really kind of made me disappointed too. Scotty said he had no problem with that guy being in there and doing that. And I was like, that's not good. All right, let's see. Peter is saying morning all and happy birthday to Raymond. That's awesome. And Raymond's saying thank you. Shane Waters is here was lurking while driving. Happy birthday to Raymond. Laughed at your comment about Scotty complaining about taxes. Kid just started paying taxes. He don't know how shitty it is, regardless of being in Canada or US. You know what? I think it's a confusion thing a lot of times with these players. First of all, they get paid in US dollars. It's kind of really dumb that they complain about tax because they're making a whole bunch of money on top of it. In fact, they get an economic boost because of the exchange rate between the US and Canada with getting paid in US. So the reason why he thinks there's high taxes is purely because of sticker prices. He sees something like ordering Chick-fil-A on DoorDash, and he sees like a $60 DoorDash, and he's like, well, the States, this would only be like $40. And he that's where he's seeing it. He's seeing it on the GST and that stuff. on prices for everyday items. So if he goes to Rexall and he buys a couple of little things at the drugstore and he sees the price for like one item, he's like, well, this in the States would have been this much more. That's where he's complaining. He's not necessarily complaining about the overall taxes or anything. He's talking about taxes on everyday one-on-one interactions. And that is true. Canadian prices are higher than US. You look at take two items and the sticker will have a higher number on it. And that's partly just because our currency is not worth as much. So a lot of that is contributing to his perception of tax and stuff like that, is just the higher prices of everyday items that when he encounters in his everyday life and stuff like that. So yeah, and I mean, it was really like a little thing, and it wasn't even that big of a deal in some ways when he did talk about it at that point. Monique saying Fred even looked like a success last night via Instagram stories. Yeah, Fred had his event yesterday where they taped the podcast and the outside. They were actually outside at this venue. It was very nice and classy, and he did one of his Bet on Yourself podcasts, which is about BIPOC entrepreneurship, and he had some people on there that have businesses and success stories, and he likes sharing them and sharing the knowledge of kind of what we're talking about today a little bit with Scottie and business, being business minded in the NBA and stuff like that. So kudos to Fred VanVleet on a very successful event yesterday, and your podcast is awesome and amazing. And yeah, you looked real classy, and like Pascal's hitting home runs at the UN and different stuff like that. Fred, in his own sphere of things, is excelling and looking like a badass also. So, all right, let's see. Isaac Campbell's saying, I like Olenek too. Cool cat. You guys can like him. This is a personal thing for me. There's something about Kelly that's made me turn him into a Benedict Arnold. To me, he's very much a turncoat on the country of Canada in some ways, not for the country, but for the city of Toronto. He is a West Coast guy. He's more a BC dude than a Toronto guy at this point. And in some ways, he may be one of these kind of people that is like kind of hates Toronto across Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people in Canada that live in other cities or in the country that hate Toronto people. And, you know, him being a BC person out West and stuff like that, I have people like this in my family that hate Toronto. So I totally understand this mentality. Some people just think that Toronto's like, oh, it's so big of all. You think you're better than us. You're a bigger city. Oh, you people think you're the most important people in the country and all this kind of stuff. I understand where that mentality comes from. But that's part of that. It's just y'all. It's not even us. We're busy trying to just survive in an unlivable city. It's not that we're trying to be better than y'all or anything like that. We're just trying to survive in an unlivable, hard to pay for city right now. We don't have time to worry about whether we're better than y'all or not. It's nothing like that. But yeah, I get that vibe from him that he's like rest of Canada versus Toronto kind of thing too. But you guys can love him and like him and stuff like that. No problem. And I am very proud of him representing Team Canada and playing for us, putting on the red and white. So Raymond Jacobs saying, thanks, Shane. Don't American players have to pay both taxes, Canada and US? I wonder how much it is. Yeah, that's the thing you got to wonder. Raymond, I don't know for sure on this. I can't say for sure. I mean, it may be they have to pay taxes on residences in different places if they're in both places. Like if Scottie's just purely up here, I don't know if he just pays Canadian tax or if he's an American worker working abroad in Canada and he pays over there. I have no idea. I don't know the specifics of all this kind of stuff, but that is a good question and something to figure out. Good morning to Lolita. So good to see Lolita. Cool Cat saying, I want Scottie to watch all the games on our championship run with Golden State Warriors. This is a great idea. This is what we're talking about today on the Think Tank. What should Scottie watch? Cool Cat I probably made this suggestion to Scottie at times. I think it was maybe, yeah, just watch championship run kind of stuff. And I think that would be fun. I mean, honestly, I want him to see just how overpowering Kawhi was at that point. I want him to see what Pascal was doing, that he was not a footnote in this, that he was a very primary player in our success in that championship run. And Fred also and stuff like that. So this would be very entertaining for Raptors fans to watch old highlights. It is a little weird for him, I think, to watch Raptors team stuff before he got here. Like when he watched that Slam interview with the six of them all staying around and Serge got up and left because they were making fun of his fashion. That that was weird, like awkward, because that's a different era. And even though there were some of his teammates there, it's like he doesn't totally like get it and stuff like that. Because he really was not Raptor minded until they called his name. And Adam Silver said, "You're on the Raptors. You just got drafted by them." Then that changed and stuff like that. All of a sudden, now he's in Raptor world and maybe kind of from a Raptor perspective. But before that, he never looked at things from a Raptor perspective. So when that championship happened, he was watching it from I'm just a kid who is in a high school or in high school, yeah, in Florida, and like that the Raptors don't mean anything extra to me. That's why it was so shocking and sad to me when he said he thought that Golden State would have beat Toronto if Kevin Durant had been healthy. And he holds that line of thinking as mainstream ESPN media does down in the States and stuff. And I hate that. I hate that he thinks that. And I hope that Pascal and Fred can take him aside and explain to him, no, dude, listen, you got to understand what we did was pretty incredible considering all the odds against us. And that the NBA probably did not want us to win. They probably did very much want the Golden State Warriors to three-peat when we played them in 2019. Stuff like it didn't work out that way. Tom Duke is here. Good morning, Tom Duke. Tom Duke is all on the Twitches too. He's in there as a regular all the time too and stuff like that. All right. There's a lot of comments. I will get to everybody. Don't worry. I'm just getting to Tom Duke first coming in. Lolita is saying, what do you think about Ben Simmons' interview with JJ Redick? I haven't seen it. Listen, we'll talk about Ben Simmons for a second. Scottie talked about Ben Simmons yesterday. He really likes Ben Simmons. He thinks that Ben Simmons is a very, very good player, and he doesn't understand why people are suing him or putting him down so much. And like we were all kind of give it to Ben Simmons in the chat a little bit at that time, but he was saying, "Nah, guys, he's a really good player. Y'all need to give him more respect." So Scottie in particular likes Ben Simmons, and he thinks he's a good player. I think Scottie likes all NBA players. He does not hate anyone, and that he wants to stand up for all of them, kind of in like a brotherhood kind of thing. Like there was a little bit of talk about Anthony Edwards and his fine yesterday on Scottie's Twitch. And and I kind of agree with Scottie. Is I think that the NBA is a little bit like wrong for fining so much. Now, I'm not saying that what Anthony Edwards did was good or right. I don't think it was good or right, and I do think he should have been punished. But I still don't like the idea of the NBA just willy nilly saying you have to pay us $40,000 for this and this. Like that is fascism. That's messed up. And then when we're talking about this, Scottie's like, I would say a lot of things about this, but I don't want to get in trouble with the NBA. So I said to Scottie, I said, well, you won't be able to say that because you get in trouble and stuff like that, but I'll say it for you and stuff like that. It's wrong for the NBA to fine players willy-nilly in different ways like this. Where in other places do people get fined these amounts of dollars for things on their jobs? In fact, it smacks of kind of an old kind of owner-player mentality of things and control. And I hate it. I think the NFL is a horrible organization to follow with the fining. The way they fine people for celebrating touchdowns is messed up. The way that they fine Anthony Edwards like this, I don't totally agree with it. I think that the number is way too high. I think that he should get punished in some way for what he did. I don't think that what he did is just nothing. I think he did do something that's not right. But once again, I think it's a little heavy handed. And I don't agree with the NBA being able to do this just willy nilly, say you need to pay $40,000. And Scottie was very much kind of like, this is what he's thinking, but he won't say it. He won't say it. And he said it once again, he's like, NBA is always against the Raptors. Oh, I say that out loud? He's like, no, you guys are great. We love you. He did that. He did that again yesterday. It's hilarious. All right, let's keep going. So I don't know what the interview with JJ Redick was said exactly, but I'll just give you that as my Ben Simmons kind of news right there. Tom Duke saying, I reviewed things, but sorry I wasn't there with you and Lloyd stream. Well, Tom, there were only like three of us there. It was Guerrilla Marketing and Jay Peasy and I were the only three there watching this late night shift of Scottie playing. And like I said, it's kind of like Big Brother After Hours. It's like you can watch Big Brother, the show on CBS, but they had the late night stream on Showtime that if you paid a little extra, you could be really a Big Brother fan. You could watch them in the middle of the night. Well, this was kind of the feeling of Lloyd's stream last night. It's like Scottie Barnes' Twitch After Hours, Lloyd's late night, because it was a little bit more like loose. Scottie wasn't as like polished. He was really more like the other guys, and the other guys were way more vocal on it. Like you heard John talk so much on the Lloyd late night stream last night. And I realized why Scottie doesn't let him talk normally on his Twitch streams, because he is wild. He's out of control. And this other dude they were playing with had his radio blast, and every time he got on the chat, and it was some garbage music, and they were making fun of him. It's like, turn that music down. We're gonna mute you. We don't want to hear you. And he's like playing, and he's like going off and playing. He's talking trash. And there's a lot of cussing. And John's, like I said, he ate like some Chick-fil-A. He ate a sandwich and a milkshake. And he was having so much belching. I was calling him the alligator because he was like, ah, and it was really driving Lloyd crazy. Lloyd was like, stop doing that, man. And I was like, tell him that man needs a Tums and stuff like that. I was writing in the comments and stuff. It was pretty funny. It was pretty crazy, very loose and stuff. And at one point, Lloyd just got pissed off and like got off the game because they weren't helping him rebound. He just like quit all of a sudden. He didn't even say goodbye to us or anything. He just turned it off and it went away. It's like, it's so funny and stuff like that. But yeah, Tom, I know you're there usually and stuff like that. You know, I'm crazy. It's absolutely crazy how I can see the bat signal go up and I'm just there every time. I'm sure that they think I have no life because of that, but they don't understand what my life is. My life is covering the Raptors, and that's what I'm doing, and that's part of my job. So when I'm there, I'm doing my job actually. So Cool Cat's saying, I also want Scottie to watch our 2020 season run before the bubble. It will help him to understand a lot about the Raptors and not what the U.S. media say about us. Yeah, I love that team. That team, it was one of the most winning teams in Raptor history. The one with Serge and Mark after the championship with Kawhi gone. Lots of good games and highlights there. It was cool that he did go back and watch the shot. He did go back and watch OG's shot against Boston in that one clip and watch. And that was cool when he reviewed that stuff. So, yeah, these are good suggestions. Like old Raptors clips are definitely something that we would definitely enjoy him watching. But in some ways, I think that he's more interested in watching other sports. Like he would watch more UFC and react to it, but there's blood restrictions on Twitch. So he has to be really careful about watching UFC because it can't be any part where there's somebody gets busted open, stuff like that. He will watch a lot of football highlights, and Lamar Jackson specifically. He is all about watching that kind of stuff. So, you know, he went and checked the FSU highlights, went for FSU football games. He's interested in that kind of stuff and stuff like that. But old Raptor stuff, it would be more fun for him to watch that kind of stuff. But in some ways, I don't think he's totally interested in that kind of stuff. But I would love for him to watch it, me personally, and I know you would. Shane's saying, Raymond, not sure. This could be a valid point. They must have something worked out. Otherwise, there would be no incentive to play for a Canadian team in the NHL. Just a thought. They do have something worked out. And yeah, I think it, like the way Doug Smith has characterized it in his book, We the North, is that there's actually really good economic advantages for playing for the Raptors in some ways, that they actually do get some really good benefits from it financially. That in fact, the complaining about the taxes in Canada is actually kind of stupid because they get more benefits and better money opportunities because of the way that it's set up with the difference in Canadian dollar and the American dollar and the exchange rate and things like that. So I think like that's what Doug Smith has said, that this is actually bullshit. When they talk about Canadian taxes or the money being in Canada and stuff like that, it actually works out better for them in the long run. It's just that the math that seems like, because they see the sticker price, like I said, they think, oh, I'm paying way more than I would if I was in the States. Well, in the long run, if you figure out all the exchange rate and the different rules and how they worked it out, like in a way that is attractive for people, because they did think about this and they had to make it so that people would want to play in Toronto, because that would make it a real detriment if it was not like this. And they did work it out so that it is fair and equitable. So I don't know the nuts and bolts specifically of this, but I do know that they did do work with all this to make it equitable so that Toronto can be attractive to players economically. So, yeah. G saying, I think the away games, they pay their American taxes and the home games is Canadian. I don't know this factual, though. That's weird. That seems a little weird and off. I don't know if it's that way. I think it's just one way. I think they actually are just getting paid in American, and they may be exempt from everything like federally Canada wise. I don't know. I hate this kind of stuff. I don't like talking about money and rules and laws and stuff like that. So this is not my area of expertise. So I don't know this exact specifics of the situation. So let's see. Tom Duke saying, He really is Scotty basketball. Glad he got a dog trainer, and sweet to hear him talk about how he misses Cardi. Yeah, Tom was there when he watched the Rottweiler video at the very end of his stream yesterday, and he was watching the dog get washed, and they put cologne on the dog's back, and everybody's like, "Why are they putting cologne on that dog?" But Scotty really did miss his dog, and of course Tom started talking about his dog Toto again a little bit in the chat, and it's just really nice to see that humanistic loving side of Scotty, for the love for Cardi and how much he misses Cardi. All right, Logical Raptors fanatic, good to see you. Thanks for the sub, and salute everyone. Salute to you. I love Logical Raptor fans because, like, listen, I try to be logical as much as I can, but I am very biased for the Raptors. And in fact, I have a Fox News kind of mentality about spinning the news in the proper positive way for the Raptors no matter what. And I'll be guilty of that. Sure. We call this a Raptors freak cult. And yeah, there is a cult that we do believe, like, unwavering in the Raptors being successful in winning championships. That this is where our cult disbelief, the thing that everybody else, we say they're liars and stuff like that, is what our mantra is, that the Raptors are going to be good no matter what, because they are all lying. So if that's cultish behavior and that makes us a cult, then we're a cult, the Raptor Freak cult. But I appreciate you being here, Logical Raptors fanatic. The word logical is a great word for this channel. We try to be as logical as possible, like Brian Windhurst. All right, let's keep going. Monique is saying, I love the Thursday think tank. Plus, with the season approaching, topic everywhere. And by the way, they just announced the time suspended. What? Oh, that Emadoka's is suspended. They just announced it. I'm going to guess that's what it is because there's just a T on the front of it. Thank you for appreciating this segment, Monique. The Thursday Think Tank has been one of the better off-season days. We get a lot more traffic on this channel on this day because it really is a hive mind think tank for Raptor fans like us to share ideas and different subjects. And today's subject's a little bit different because it's not totally basketball related. But what would you like to see him do on his Twitch? He's literally asking us this these last couple times, and he's open to ideas and trying stuff. So if you're really interested in seeing Scottie answer a question or play a video game or react to something on YouTube, put the suggestion in here, and we will, Tom Duke and Cool Cat and Shane Waters and I and other people that are in there, we will remember this and we'll bring these suggestions to him on his Twitch. So this is not a frivolous stream. This is something we can actually put into action. And it's going to be unfortunate when the regular season starts that the Thursday think tank will go away because we will be busy reacting and previewing games. But when there is an open Thursday, maybe we will have a think tank in the middle of the season at some point. But it's definitely something in the format for next off season that we'll be back also. But I appreciate that you like this Thursday thing that we do. It's a lot of fun. So I'm guessing you're saying that Emadoka has been suspended. You know what? Let's go and look and see what Shams is saying. Shams is kind of on top of it. Maybe Woj might have it too. It doesn't say there yet, but if you guys have the official word about it, I'll believe you. Tom Duke saying, good mom, Logical, and happy birthday, Raymond. Good mom, Logical. Oh, good morning, Logical. I thought they said mom. I love it. Good morning, Tom Duke. That's right. Tommy Duke, gifting the subs. All right. Raymond Jacobs saying, brother Tom, let's go. Cheers, cheers. Ching, ching. Cool Cat saying, I was wondering where Cardi was. I have not seen the dog in the stream for a while. Yeah, we were all wondering this. He got really, like, Cool Cat, you should have been there. If you'd seen the emotion on Scottie's face and when he was talking about Cardi, you would have been like, oh, your heart would have melted to know how sensitive and loving Scottie is towards that dog. Because like he's been putting her out of his mind. Like, we hadn't heard the squeak toy in the background, squeak, squeak, or like him, Cardi scratching around or doing something out behind him for a while. And we wondered, I was getting worried that he was somebody who would like get a pet and then like, oh, this is maybe too much and I can't handle this and send it back. But no, that is not the case. Thank God that he is put the dog in boarding school and that it's really good that the dogs can get some obedience training, some housebreaking training, and all kinds of different stuff like that. And then hopefully the dog will come back and be very obedient and good for Scottie in about a month from now. But he misses that dog so much. He did not want to do this. but he realized it was the right thing to do at the time. But he was like, man, I don't want her away from me. He was really sad about it, stuff like that. All right, logical Raptors fanatic saying, I heard a Braun fan go at Scottie for clowning on that guy. Not gonna lie. Yeah, this has been a saga from the Twitch stream fanatic that when he saw that clip from the Seattle Pro Am of LeBron did like a very simple two-handed dunk right next to the basket. He just like jumped up and dunked it through. And the guy standing next to him was like, oh, he's like all right next to him. And Scottie said, why is he dick eating? That's just like a basic dunk. He said, like, why is this so important or special? And it went viral. Scottie got backlash for this. He got some haters from this. LeBron, people thought he was making fun of LeBron. He was not making fun of LeBron. He wanted to make that very clear and stuff like that. And this similar thing happened when he posted this Scottie Barnes live footage of him reacting to LeBron being funny on YouTube. That he took it down like pretty quickly, like 4 or 5 hours after he posted it, because LeBron fans are thinking he's making fun of LeBron. And they're coming at him. The LeBron fans have been mean to Scottie because they think he's making fun of LeBron. And he's not. He loves LeBron. He respects him so much. And he just thinks he's a funny dude. Like Scottie has characterized LeBron James as being the funniest person in the NBA. That he thinks he's just a funny dude. And it's true. The clip is funny. He's like singing and he's rapping and he's kind of acting foolish and stuff. So it's not that Scottie like hates LeBron or is making fun of him. He's just laughing with him. And LeBron fans too sensitive. They get all upset and up in arms, and they start coming at him. Like it's crazy. But yeah, he couldn't have that up. He couldn't have that up. So yeah. So Cool Cat saying, "Oh, Cardi's getting house trained." Was wondering where she is. Yeah, we found out the mystery at the end of the stream yesterday. Stuff like that. Cool Cat saying also, I love Kia Nurse. Energy on the floor. Her shooting skills are pure. Love the fast release and tough on defense. She's a Raptors type of player. I'm really happy she's back. Like you could tell last year when she would be in the Raptors announce crew that she was like that. She needed to be somewhere else. Like she's young. She's a good player, and that her being on the announcing team was just because of her injury. And now hopefully she can resume her professional career in all kinds of aspects, whether it's for Team Canada and also on the WNBA level and things like that. So very happy to see Kia Nurse back on the court yesterday against Serbia and Australia. And go get France tonight, ladies. Yeah, let's go Team Canada. That's right. Randolph saying, happy birthday, Raymond. Enjoy your celebrations. I know Raymond's going to have a little of this and a little of that. And just everything's going to be nice and fine for Raymond Jacob on his 38th birthday on a Thursday in September. Yeah, yeah. Logical saying, interesting, Thaddy Daddy is a smart investor. Yeah, it's really like his portfolio is very varied. He has a lot of different companies he invests in. Some of these are very well-known companies. Like I forget which one it is. I should just go look at it, see if I can see it up on his Instagram right now, because he had it in his stories. And let's see what all right, I can do this reacting. It's not that big deal. All right, what is that? That is, what company is it? It's gone. It's not up anymore. It's the 24 hours are up. Oh, wait, here's one. The Theragun. Like he is invested in Theragun. Like it's that thing that you hold the trigger and it rubs the ball into your back. It like does a massage. He's got money on that. He's saying he's proud of my portfolio company, Therabody, for all the growth. Of course, as an athlete, I love these devices. So this is pretty much like Thad Young probably was in a training room and they were doing the Theragun on his back. He's like, man, that feels really good. This is a good product. Hey, I need to get on board with this and put some money in. And that's what he is. So yeah, I think he's involved. Also, he's a part owner of Epic Games. That Epic Games is what Scotty's playing Fall Guys and Fortnite on. So Thad Young is making money off video games also. That's in his portfolio. So yeah, it's interesting. He's saying that Fortnite has doubled in value from 18 billion to nearly 30 billion to date. Let's keep owning and growing. So he owns part of Fortnite. Thad Young does. He's also a part of WalletFi. WalletFi? I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that is. WalletFi. It's probably something to do with having your wallet and like online or something like that. stuff like that. But yeah, he owns part of Epic Games, Fall Guys. Thad Young is owning part of that. I'm going to tell Scotty that next time they play Fall Guys. I'm going to say, hey, Scotty, did you know Thad Young is part owner of Fall Guys? He'd probably be very interested in knowing that and stuff like that. Cool Cat saying a lot of our players are business minded and they are encouraged and mentored in our organization for sure. And the thing is, in the old NBA, these players would get so much money and they were like suckers born every minute. People would come and fleece them and steal their money and all kinds of investment scams and all kinds of stuff. So the NBA got when rookies come in the league, they're taught on how to be smarter financially so that they don't lose all their money right away from scammers and different people like that. That this is important. It's part of the rookie orientation for these guys. The Scotty last year, when he came in the league, he went to these classes and they taught him about being smart with the money and not just giving a huge chunk of money to somebody because they want to open a restaurant because they think their restaurant's gonna be so good. My restaurant's gonna be so good, Scotty. You should let me do it. Listen, cuz I can't give you that money, bro. You know, it's that kind of thing. So yeah, it's really important. And I bet the Raptors, out of all the organizations in the league, probably have a really good program for helping the young players get into business opportunities and endeavors that are really smart and stuff like that. It really just seems like that. There's like guys like Norman and people have passed through here and they've made themselves into big businessmen and stuff like that. I wonder if that has something to do with parts of the Raptors organization helping to guide them, stuff like that. I think you're probably right. Cool Cat, that it is that way. Lolita saying Scotty gave 2 scholarships. Proud of him giving back. Yeah, for his trade school, he's giving out some scholarships there. We see Pascal giving out scholarships at the law school of the University of Toronto yesterday. These dudes are like, look, we're over in Africa doing stuff, good stuff over here. We're doing good stuff with scholarships here. We got Fred Van Vliet going back to Rockford and doing good things over there. We got people where our Raptors are doing good things all over the place. And I'm just love and I'm so proud of the character overall of our team. Is a really good character and stuff like that. Monique saying Lex, Thad's business is called Reform something like that. Yeah, he's got a whole portfolio. Like that's amazing that he's a part owner of Epic Games. That is huge. I've got Epic Games on my computer right now, so I'm a customer. All right, let's see. Cool Cat saying Kelly has been on our hated teams list, Miami, Detroit for sure. That really is what it is. That really is what it is. And me knowing that he's from Toronto this whole time and seeing him kind of do that to us, I'm like, man, these guys a turncoat. But listen, you guys can love him and like him all the way. I have a hatred towards him that's similar towards Goran. Like I hate him kind of in the similar way that I hate Goran Dragic. So if he came to Toronto, I would have to forgive him and I'd be like, all right, he's on our team. I'd probably let him in a little bit better than Goran because he's Canadian and stuff like that. But it has that kind of animosity from me. He really does. A logical Raptors fanatic saying, not going to lie, Kawhi chose to play at home. Sometimes it's not the best option. Yeah, we're seeing that in hindsight with Kawhi. That, you know, he could have probably repeated with us the very next year in 2020. We had such a good team. Now the pandemic came and messed things up, and then we had to go do the bubble and stuff. So who knows what would have happened. But I think Kawhi would have been having much more success, and he'd probably be way healthier also with Dr. Alex McKechnie helping him out day to day and stuff like that. These are the things you got to woulda, coulda, shoulda. Hindsight, we will never know. And this is what Kawhi has to keep awake at night, thinking about, well, what if that's for him? It's not for us. We went on, moved on, made the best of the situation. You know, we would have loved to have you for a couple more years, Kawhi. But in some ways also, we've also figured out on this channel that maybe we dodged a bullet. That maybe Kawhi being here and lingering around may have been hurtful for other things that have happened and developed since. Like, would we have Scottie Barnes at this point if Kawhi Leonard was still on our team after the championship? I don't know. We can't say woulda, coulda, shoulda. We don't know. We never will. But Kawhi has to deal with that in his own head, the wondering about whether he left a ring on the table here in Toronto when he left. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, I want Scottie to be a lifer, but I don't think Scottie will be a lifer. Too much pressure for Americans and media will come at him throwing money and patriotism. Yeah, this is part of what happens in his chat is the Americans come in there. And this dude, like I said, I really wanted him to silence him because he was not just talking trash about the Raptors. He was talking about Canadian people. He was talking about our country. He was saying things that were very ugly and kind of Trump kind of shit. And yeah, there's a lot of pressure from that other side. I hate it. I hate it. This is the stuff that these American guys go through when they're on our team. People saying, you should just come play for the Heat. You should play for the Lakers. Why are you up in Canada, that trash country? Like, what? Nobody's going to watch you in Canada. I'm sure there's all kinds of crazy, stupid shit he hears from fans, from media, from different people, and then from people that are personal in his life, like maybe cousins, friends from high school, people like that. That maybe, and that's the thing. That's why we have to be the body that kind of solicits and favors him to try and stay. Say, no, Scotty, stay with us, stay with us. And it's really important that we get in a relationship with him on Twitch and say, we are real Raptor fans and we care about you playing for Toronto and we love you and we want you here. Now, but we don't know what's going to happen. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. And it could very well be that he decides at some point to be like Fred and say, I want to be a Raptor for life. And that could happen too. So it could go either way. But we see the signs of it could go either way. Like I'm saying, we could see it going either way by some of the things he's saying, and how he loves being a Raptor, he loves being in an organization, he loves all this stuff about. But also we can see where he may have some complaints, he may have some other things, the classic stupid shit that Cool Cat's talking about, as far as American media, American people, different people saying this and that. Oh, you'll never do this in Toronto and this and this. And I don't like that. So we have to be the counterbalance as much as we can. And Masai and Bobby, we trust. Exactly. As long as Masai Ujiri's around, we're going to be very functional and good. Even when he's gone, I think he's going to have a legacy that's going to last. And hopefully that won't be anytime soon. I'd love to see Masai Ujiri involved with the Toronto Raptors for decades. And we will be all right. Trust me. Lolita's saying Raptors building a super team from the ground up. They're young yet, but just imagine them growing up together on their prime. Wow. I know. That's about what we're about to see, Lolita. Is like with these guys' ages, like Precious just turned 23, and you got Gary so young, you got Scotty so young, and even Fred and Pascal are not that old. They're very young players in the NBA. It is going to be really exciting to see where they get to, and there will be tough decisions. That's what I'm saying. If Scotty, you're not totally fully committed to being a Raptor and down the road, and you do want to get out of here, we feel it through you. We may go and invest in other guys and trade you and get something good for you. If you're not, then we don't want to talk about that too much, but that is the truth. That like if Masai has to, he'll figure it out and he'll put his eggs in the basket with one of the other young Raptors instead. So it really is up to you how bought in you want to be and if you want to stay here. If you already have made up your mind that, okay, I'm going to do my rookie stuff here for a little while, and at some point when I have the chance to get out of here as a free agent, I will, then you know what? We'll make the best of whatever situation comes across, but we would really like it to be you. And that's what I say. I don't want to talk about this subject ever again until he's actually getting close to being a free agent. That this is very premature, but this is something that we should all think about and be kind of on the same page as Raptor fans, so that it doesn't get ugly or weird or any kind of way or stuff like that. We understand the whole thing about it. So, all right, let's keep going. Tom Duke saying Scotty likes tomato and bacon sandwiches. That's right. He was talking about what he likes to eat for breakfast. He likes tomato and bacon sandwiches. You know, Scotty's not a big fan of grits. He's never really liked grits. He does like a very basic kind of regular kind of breakfast. He likes pancakes and bacon and eggs and orange juice. And he says that apple juice is for babies, that little kids are the ones that drink apple juice, that you should drink orange juice if you're grown up. And apple juice is just for babies on his back, trying to guard him when he dunks on them, gets up on that rim and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. Greg's here. Good to see Greg is here live. Jubstown Clank, go give him a follow on the YouTube. He's got such good produced fun stuff. Not just produced YouTube clips, but produced beautiful cuisine and food as a chef. Yeah, great. Good to see you. Laugh out loud. Just logged on here, and the first thing I see is Tom's crazy food emojis. Wouldn't have it any other way. Hope all you freaks are doing well. Yeah, we're talking about Scotty. Was talking about breakfast yesterday, what he likes to eat for breakfast. And this is pretty much right. Yeah, tomato, bacon sandwich. Bam. He loves that kind of stuff. Tom's laughing about it. Salute to Gubstown Clink. Yeah, we got that crossover going on here. That's right. That crossover is happening. Greg and I are on Facebook now, so look for good things and collaborations to come. I'm just not very good at communicating on Facebook. I'm very bad about getting back sometimes, Greg. So just have patience with me sometimes, because sometimes I'm away and stuff, and I don't always do the messenger right away, but I will get back to you. I promise. But we're gonna figure it out. 9:05 game, definitely. I'm very interested in coming out to Mississauga for a Raptors 9:05 game this season, and I love to hear that you have a table. Is what you said? You got a table for the season and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. All right, I want to see what else you got. Okay, it jumped ahead. I just want to make sure I get everything. Tom Duke saying Jubbs is the talented human crystal ball. Some really good predictions by Greg. And I'm really intrigued to see if your idea about Koloko starting just for the jump ball could possibly happen. I actually think it's very a genius idea. Just start Koloko for the very beginning of the game, have him do the jump ball, and then bench him right away and bring somebody else in. Although it's going to make the stats look weird. But who would you do that to? Maybe you'd bring OG off the bench right off at the bat. Like you put Koloko in just for the jump ball, and then like a minute in, bring him out and put OG in or something like that. Maybe that'll work. I like that. I like that. Let's see. Clink saying, hey, Logical, excited to watch your video today. Cheers. Oh, Logical does videos too. I'm going to have to check out your channel. I didn't know that. I'm going to definitely check out your stuff because I didn't know. I'll check it out after this. Lolita's saying, Scottie already Danny Green's championship jacket. That's right. Scottie has Danny Green's jacket. He gave it to him. He just gave him his championship jacket. It's a little weird. But I don't know why Danny Green did that. You know, you should value your championship jacket a little bit more, Danny Green. Those are one of a kind. Drake made those for you. What the hell, Danny Green? That's kind of, but I mean, it's cool that Scotty's got it. If somebody's else is gonna have it, big respect going on between Raptors content makers. Big respect. Bam, 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 bam. Greg saying, "Hey Tom, what did I tell you about Wancho? Lex, I think Scotty should let me teach him how to play Dota 2 on his Twitch." Dota, day of I'm not sure. That's an acronym for something. Dota. What is Dota? I don't know. And at Lolita, I love the SB grabbed Danny's jacket. He gave it to him. He didn't like steal it or anything, I don't think. Yeah, Wancho, fantastic job at Eurobasketball, being in the finals and winning it and stuff like that. I'm really excited to see him get some on the court time with the Raptors. We've seen all of them playing together at Rico Hines. Have not seen Wancho or Josh Jackson. These two guys, I want to see them in Raptors uniforms playing with the other guys and seeing how they meld and work with them, if they're good fits and stuff like that. And Scotty, listen, Greg, we can get on there. I'm not sure what game you're talking about. DOTA 2. I'm not hip enough to know what that game is with the acronym. But yeah, he's all about video games and which ones that people think he should play and stuff like that. He's taking suggestions. Like he was talking about Rocket League last night a lot. Like he wants to play Rocket League, and some people in the stream were really interested in seeing him play Rocket League. And I'm not even sure what that game is. I don't think I've ever seen it. So Tom Duke saying, Logical, you're getting better every video. Good job. And yeah, respect your passion, bro. All right, I'm going to have to check out this passion of Logical Raptors fanatic. David is saying, tell Scotty to try some Frank's Red Hot sauce on his bacon and tomato sandwiches. Ooh, that's a good tip. We'll pass that along. Tom, you can remember this one since you're all about the food stuff just now and stuff like that. I'm sure Tom will bring it up with Scotty next time we're in there. Tell him from David to have some Frank's Red Hot sauce on that sandwich. I bet that'd be good. I do that to my food sometimes. I'll just get a little Frank's Red Hot and just give it a little spice. Yeah. Fanatic saying, Tom Duke, super respect. That means everything. Thank you. Tom Duke's a real one. Tom Duke is a real Raptor freak. He knows he is a passionate fan of the Raptors. That's for sure. Scotty is aware. Yeah. Listen, one of the things about Scotty's personality and who he is he picks up on everything. Like as much as he comes down on me for knowing everything and memorizing things and stuff like that, he's Raptor freak, you know everything. When you know when my media day is, and I didn't even know. He is paying a lot of attention too. In fact, that's part of his IQ and his skill set on the court. Is he has really good perception. He catches everything in the big scheme of things, whether it's the way that the court's forming in the play and what he needs to do in the split second. He also is on chat and talking to the chat while he's playing Rec League 2K23. He's able to play and read the chat at the same time. And he's catching everything. And he kind of filters through the messages, and he won't read certain ones. He knows when not to read them. He kind of pre-reads and then he reads them afterwards. afterwards. And so, and some people like me, he kind of trusts. He'll just go ahead and read my statement right off the bat because I've been around stuff like that. But it is true. His perception is above average. He has a very, very good ability to take in a lot of information into his brain quickly and process it and react and make the right decisions. This is part of the reason why he's such a special NBA player. This is the kind of stuff that made Magic and Bird very, very good, is being like 2 or 3 steps ahead of everybody else on the court. And he does it in the NBA 2K23 game. He's like a little bit ahead of everybody. That's why he's getting all these crazy steals, jumping in passing lanes and stuff like that, is because he's reading the play and what's happening ahead of when it happens. And all the greats throughout the history of the NBA have had this skill. This is why I'm pre-forecasting Scottie to be one of the greatest players of this generation coming up, is because he has this IQ and reaction and skill that only the very best have had in the history of the NBA. In some ways, some of the very, like LeBron has this, sure. But in some ways, Scottie has this in a different way than LeBron. That's even better in some ways and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Cool Cat saying, actually, if Anthony Edwards was working at my place, he would be fired. We have work policies in place about that kind of stuff. This is all right. This is important. And this is important to say. My issue isn't necessarily with the thing that he did. I'm trying to separate the two things in this what I'm trying to say. What he did does deserve punishment and things like that. But I don't like I'm saying the problem I have is with the way the NBA fines people. I just don't think that it's right. I just don't think it's right. That these guys make a lot of money and they're deserving of making this money. I do like that they give this money that they fine people for to charity quite often and stuff like that. But and I do agree with this, what you're saying, that regular average people would get fired for this kind of behavior in certain ways. I don't know. I'm not very good at like just deciding what is the best punishment for this, but I do know $40,000 fine is kind of it's a little bit over maybe like a $10,000 fine. So I know they want to make it something that matters to him financially. I don't know. Maybe there's a different way they could have punished him where it would make him really feel punished more than monetarily. I don't know. Maybe he needs to go do a community service. Like maybe he needs to go and work with some of the people that he was, degrading and, learn more and get more open-minded about why. And that may be the best possible punishment for him because that actually changes him. I know that Tim Hardaway, we talked about him recently when he made that interview and he said some very awful things, homophobic things. He really got paid for it. He was in trouble for losing his whole career and legacy because of that ugliness. And he really went through some retraining on that subject. And he really did go on a goodwill tour afterwards of being an advocate for against how he acted before. And it did turn around. And it was a very powerful thing. So I don't know. Maybe this is a better way of punishing someone. It's like, all right, well, listen, you're going to be this way. Well, we want to educate you on why this is wrong, how you could be better in the future. And maybe you can be a better example for other people and actually do work in helping with this. I just think the money's gross. And like I said, I think it's fascist. But it's a tough subject, and it's hard to figure out what the correct punishment really is. Because I think that the money thing doesn't actually get anything across. Does this change how he behaves or how he thinks? I don't think so. But maybe something like what I just described would and stuff like that. I don't know. It's not so easy to just decide and figure out. Let's see. Logical Raptors fanatic saying Big Brother After Dark is interesting. Yeah. So is Lloyd's late night Twitch stream. It is interesting. That's why I was saying it. It's like that. There's a lot more profanity and there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Yeah. Yeah. Tom Duke saying, yeah, so true about the other guys and how the guy burping was gross. That was John. That was Scottie's brother, John French, who was burping. And apparently he all right, I said to Lloyd, he's like, he must be drinking beers the way he's burping like that. And Lloyd said, no, he doesn't do that. He doesn't drink at all. So he's like Scottie. These guys don't drink alcohol. So it's really the food that did this to him. And like, I like getting worried about him, like just as somebody who cares, like, is he okay? Does he need to go see a doctor? Because he has so much extra belching coming up. Or is he like a belch artist? Like, is he trying to do this? Like, is this his warfare for annoying Lloyd? He's like, I got to get these belches all permeating and going crazy in my stomach so that I can really get that ammunition towards Lloyd when we're playing and stuff like that. I thought it was kind of funny, honestly. I didn't have a big problem with it, other than it was very loud in your ears if you're wearing headphones and stuff like that. But it was kind of comical to hear the interaction between him and Lloyd kind of coming down on him, and John just kind of being a butt. He's like, "No, Lloyd." It was very kind of immature, but it was also kind of entertaining too. I have to say it was and stuff like that. But that's John French, the alligator burper, Scottie's brother. Yeah, that's doing that. Greg saying, I agree, Cool Cat. The league has done a great job pushing issues like equality and humanism. That's the reason they had no choice but to publicly take a stance on Edwards. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. I don't have any problem with them condemning him and coming down on him. Like I said, I just have a problem with fines. I think fines are messed up. And I don't like how the NFL and the NBA fine people like this. I really don't. Dylan's saying, wow, Lex, your power dynamic explanation really changed my mind. I know I'm 30 to 40 minutes behind now, but I really appreciate taking the team time to explain that. I think, okay, I'm talking about the Madoka situation with power in employment and stuff like that, and why it's wrong. Yeah. It could be that they marry each other down the road, that Madoka loves this person that works under him in the Boston organization, and they're fine. And they could still be like doing stuff together. I don't know. Maybe she needs to lead the organization and then everything's fine or something like that. I don't know. It's just a perception, and it's a power thing. And it's also history that you got to think about all the times over the years that men got away with using women for sex underneath them in power situations. That, even the optics, even if it is all on the up and up and it's consensual, it just doesn't look good and stuff. But I appreciate that you've seen what I was saying and stuff like that. I am a lot behind. Wow, this is really showing where I am in the chat, so I got to catch up. Randolph Phillips is saying the East is unpredictable and is much stronger than the West. We were discussing this on the chat last night on Twitch a little bit, and there was a little bit of difference in opinion. Some of us, like me, think that both conferences are very equal. But, there was some people saying what Randolph is saying here, that the East is actually on the down low much stronger than the West at this point. That, we look at teams like Utah and Dallas and Denver and Portland as perennial kind of playoff powerhouses, but they really aren't all of them that at this point. Some of them are. Denver, sure. Dallas, maybe, probably. But Utah and Portland are not really teams that are at that level where they were like a few years ago, as far as like playoff toughness and stuff. And you think about it, Oklahoma City, Houston, San Antonio, Utah, Sacramento, there's a lot of bad teams out West. So I think in a way that Randolph Phillips is right, that the East is tough to put a gauge on a lot of different players there. And that in some ways the East is stronger than the West. I've got to take this whole historic bias that the West has always been stronger than the East for so long that it is kind of maybe flipped at this point, even though LeBron's in the West and stuff like that. All right, Dylan's saying, also, I know I'm out of place here, so please feel free to skip over any comments. It's a weird time in the conversation. You're good at what you do, Lex. No problem, Dylan. I'll circle back every single time. I have no problem doing this. This is just the nature of things. There's a delay between the comments. You guys may hear me say something right now, and then you want to react to it and type it in. It's okay. That's why it's a little bit circular here, but I try not to repeat things too much. And if I do talk about a subject again, I'll add a little bit more information or a little bit more insight just to make it fresh and not just sound like a broken record and stuff like that. So good stuff. We the North, Logical Raptors fanatic. That's right. We the North, baby. We the North. And we coming for that second Larry O'Brien championship. That's what Fred said yesterday at his podcast taping. An interviewer came to him and said, Fred, what are you expecting for the Raptors this season? And Fred had one word to say, championship. That's right. Fred is not playing NBA seasons to not get NBA championships. This man is very focused, and it is only one goal, one ultimate goal, and that is for Toronto Raptors to win another Larry O'Brien NBA championship. And that is what Fred said yesterday. He said, don't get it twisted. This is the only thing we're here for, is to win championships. And that is, he said it again. He said it yesterday. He said it last year. He said, we only want to win championships. Y'all may not think we're actually a legitimate championship contender, but we believe we are, and we know we can be by the time next year, the end of the season is coming up. We will be looking like one by that time. Oh yeah, we will next April. We will look like a championship contender. Trust me. Let's see. Logical saying, I like talking about money. Yeah, I'm not a big money guy myself. I just am not. And that may be part of the reason why I'm not as successful financially as a lot of people. But you know what? In some ways, I just don't want to get jaded with it. In some ways, Paul B's here. Good to see Paul B. I haven't seen you in a bit. And I love you, Paul B. It's good to see you. When is the first game? I need some Van Vliet to Coloco dunks. October 2nd, Utah Jazz, Edmonton. First preseason game. That is like, it's like what, 10 days from now or something like that? Oh, wait, 10. Yeah, it's like 10 or 11 days from now. So we're getting real close, Paul. Logical saying charity scrimmage, September 30th. That's right. Victoria, British Columbia, open scrimmage. Tom Duke will be there. Shane Waters, I want to tell you, you were asking Scottie. Shane's on the Twitch the other day. He says, Scottie, if you will tell me that you will be playing in this open scrimmage for sure, I will get on a plane and fly to Victoria and come to the open scrimmage game on the 30th. Scottie can't tell you that for sure, though. God forbid this happens, but training camp has to happen. They got to work out and stuff like that. And hopefully he's not hurt or anything like that. But I'll tell you right now, Shane, if Scottie is able to play, and he probably will be for sure, he will be definitely at that open practice scrimmage, charity scrimmage. The Scottie will be there. And that it's kind of a silly question in some ways because it's kind of mandatory that they play in that open scrimmage. So expect Scottie to play. The only way he wouldn't is if he has like a slight injury or something like that, and they hold him out for that reason. And he can't foretell that and tell you that right now. So go get on that plane. Tom's got you a ticket, and just go to the game. Shane, don't even think twice. Just go. You don't have to ask him. Seriously, just go. He'll be there. Trust me. Logical saying, I need more official info on the Adoka thing. Not gonna lie. Well, it's such a new breaking news kind of story. It broke late last night. And yeah, we're just gonna have to see the fallout. The early things I'm hearing is that he could be suspended for this whole entire season as the coach and not allowed to coach the Celtics this season for 1 year. Kind of similar to what they were wanting to do to Sarver. But it's not like he's going to get run out of town. He'll probably get this suspension and then he'll be back business as usual next season. But this is just like Chet. It's like you're going to miss this dude for a year. And it could be a problem. It could be a problem. Because like now OKC doesn't have SGA all of a sudden. He's got a problem with his MCL. And yeah, Oklahoma City's season's looking really dire this year now. Really, really looking dire. Yeah. Monique is saying October 2nd, Jazz. Yeah. October 19th, home opener. That would be the Chicago game that Sue's got tickets to now. We get some more Raptor freaks in there in the building. We'll all meet up at the Chicago Bulls game in Toronto at Scottie Bank Arena on that Sunday. Yeah, the only preseason game here in Toronto. We will be there. The Raptor Freak Cult will be representing. Paul B saying September 30th and October 2nd. Okay, I'm ready to watch some Raptors on TV, getting anxious. I think this could be our year. I think so too, Paul. I don't know if the open scrimmage will be on TV, so don't expect to watch that. We're going to have to get all our information from Tom and Shane, who will be in the building, and they can tell us, they can give us their report. So Tom Duke, you are officially going to be an important part of reporting about the open scrimmage and charity game for us on this stream the next day. So I don't know, take notes or maybe mental notes or just what you want to talk about, what your impressions were of the whole thing. We will really want to hear them, Tom. So going into it, I want you to kind of have that mental mindset to help us understand what happened there because you are our eyes on the scene. And if you get any kind of cool stories, like you get to meet Nick Nurse or any of the Raptors or something like that, we'd love to hear that too and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. A logical Raptor fan saying, Paul B, no doubt, bro. Excited to see Coloco too. The anticipation for the season is just rising and crazy. In fact, I expect people like Greg and you and I to get a bump on our content views because people are going to want to know what's happening with the Raptors right before the season. This is when they're going to be like, oh, well, let's catch up and see what happened this summer. And let's go on YouTube and see, Logical's Raptors fanatic. What is he saying? What's Raptors Freak saying? Oh, what is Joesound Clink saying? And they'll come in and they'll start looking at our stuff around like in the next couple weeks, like when we're getting really closer and stuff. So yeah, expect the bump up because there is a passion and an anticipation and people are thirsty for Raptors basketball at this point. There is a severe thirst. There's a Raptors basketball drought, and everybody's just, where's the oasis of water to drink? Paul B saying, "Hell yeah!" All right, let's see. Raptor Fanatic is saying that gun thing is a smart investment. Oh, the Thermagun, yeah, that massage gun, yeah, that is smart. Video games and massage guns, very smart investments. Like, if you have money, maybe you need to go and talk to Thad and see what he's investing in and get on board with him, stuff like that. Fanatics also saying Masai was on the phone with Scottie on an open gym clip, and Masai was talking about responsibility with the money he's bound to get. Yeah, Masai's on everything. The Raptors organization is just definitely on everything. In fact, I would venture to guess that they helped Scottie find a place to take his dog to. That there is people in the organization, I forget her name, that she's like a do everything kind of person for the Raptors. Like if any of the players need anything done for any reason, that person is there to help them and see them through the process, whether it's a bureaucracy of red tape that they have to go do this, run around this to get your passport or this. This is probably somebody in the organization that says, Scott, you have a problem with your dog. Well, we can send it to a boarding school and we'll find it and we'll get that all organized for you and we'll get it sent out there. I'll bet you it was somebody within the Raptors that helped him with his dog and stuff like that. So we cover all these bases. Greg saying, oh, hang on, I jumped. Let me know if November 11th, Remembrance Day, second home game can work for you for a 905 outing. Bring an N1 if you like. Crazy what you said about Thad and Epic Games. Yeah, I didn't even realize that until the other day when I saw it. I was like, this dude owns part of the video games? Yeah, all right. If I do, I'll bring my girlfriend, Adriana. I'll have to look at that date, the 11th. I'm pretty sure I could do that. So maybe we'll pencil this in for sure, that I'll try and be there for Remembrance Day. I love going on events and stuff like that. November 11th is about far off enough that it'll make it easy. I know the 905 schedule doesn't start till after the NBA schedule a little bit, and that's part of the reason why. But I'm all about it, Greg. And let's pencil it in for sure right now, that Adriana and I'll come out west and we'll see you at Mississauga and stuff like that. For sure, man. For sure. Awesome. I love this. Logical Raptors Fanatic saying maybe dodge the bullet. Facts. Not gonna lie. Yeah, for real with Kawhi Leonard. That is a bullet we could have seriously been sitting on his injuries on our bench and causing all, and plus he's a power structure kind of thing. He takes so much of your salary cap that if he's not playing, he's not out there, that's hurting your team. And that has hurt the Clippers the last couple of years for sure. And so that's why I want to see him come back this year, very physically badass, and reclaim his throne as one of the best players in the league. Because on the down low, Kawhi could actually be the best player in the NBA. That if he's healthy and he's really doing what he's supposed to do, he could be rivaling Giannis for being the best player in the league. I'm serious. Monique saying, Scottie also mentioned in a recent stream he's collaborating with Google, so look out for that. Yeah, Scottie filmed 2 commercials last week. One for Google Pixel and another one for a Bitcoin trading company that he said is very comical. He said this Bitcoin commercial is going to be very funny to Raptor fans. So we should expect Scottie to be in some new commercials very soon. And Monique is in Google Pixel commercials too. So Scottie and Monique have some things in common. It's very cool. Cool Cat saying Scottie and Precious would be a force in the future. We are branding Scottie to be a global brand. Yeah. I think he's doing it himself, just on his own, like whether it's through his Twitch or his YouTube channels. He just has a general appeal to people just in general. And it is similar to Vince's in some ways and stuff. But, that's the thing. We can diversify the direction we go in depending on what happens. Like I said, none of these guys are so above and beyond so important to the Raptors. Like somebody say Giannis is to Milwaukee. Milwaukee doesn't have Giannis. That really hurts their team. Well, the Raptors have their eggs in their basket. It's like, well, if we lose one of the eggs, we're going to be okay. And that really has shown also last year with our injuries. It's like we have a couple guys missing a game. Well, we don't miss a beat with the excellence in how we're playing. Maybe some of the starters have to play 45 minutes, but if we miss two starters, we actually are okay. And not a lot of teams can say that they have people that can step into those positions and be very comparable to what they had already and stuff like that. That's part of the reason why they don't understand us. BTOB saying orange juice is so sour, it hurts my tummy. Yeah, I like orange juice myself. I'm really big on apple juice. I don't totally agree with Scotty on his views on apple juice. That's fine. We don't all have to agree. I think apple juice is awesome. But yeah, he thinks it's for little babies. Little baby juice is what he thinks apple juice is. It's a little baby juice. Hilarious. Tom Dick saying, GS comment got skipped, and it's a beauty, of course. Serge was training with Boucher and what looked like OVO. Yeah, that's not OVO that they're training at. That's a different location here in Toronto. But yeah, Chris is working out with Serge. Serge is not at OVO. Trust me, he's not allowed to go there, I don't think, by the rules. So no, that was a different location. But yeah, was that comment? G's comment. Okay, G had a comment about that up above. Man, I don't know why. Sometimes they do not show me all of you guys' comments. Like I do not see that G comment in there. That's really weird. Okay, well, good looking out, Tom, for making sure he gets it in there. Yeah, I like that they're working out together, and that's cool because I didn't really think Serge and Chris were that close, but it looks like they are, and that Serge must really appreciate getting to work out with Chris, and obviously Chris really enjoys being around Serge as an older veteran leader who taught him, and Serge probably did teach him a lot when he first got to the Raptors. Because Serge was here, and Chris really didn't have his bearing when he first got here, and he was kind of like a little awkward as a player for the Raptors right away. He didn't play a whole lot and stuff, and that's really cool. I like seeing former Raptors still being really cool with our Raptors now. People like Norm and DeMar and DeLon Wright and stuff like that. I really love that stuff. Let's see. Monique saying same BTOB regarding orange juice. Orange juice just has a lot of acidity in it, and it will eat at your stomach if you drink it on an empty stomach. That's why you got to have that toast and that bacon and eggs and the rest of the breakfast with it, because then it can soak it up, and then that vitamin C can get into your bloodstream in all kinds of good ways. But if you drink an orange juice on an empty stomach, sure, it'll tear you up. It'll tear you up real good. And then you'll need a Tums, or you'll be belching like John French on a Twitch stream. Oh, yeah, you'll be belching. He's crazy. Cool Cat saying Wancho was at Rico Hines summer camp games, and he was pure swoosh early in the season and then left for Eurobasket. He was at Rico Hines? I didn't see Wancho at Rico Hines at all this summer, but if Cool Cat, if you saw him, I won't dispute this. I won't get in an argument with you about this, but I never saw him there. That's really interesting that you saw him there. That's weird. BTOB is like, I know, right? Orange juice tears me up. I love it. The interaction here is so good. Jubstown saying, at Raptors, super fan Monique and BTOB, I never had issues when I was younger, but orange juice messes with my stomach now, kind of like OG messes up a guard in a post mismatch. Yeah, go ahead. Cleveland, get Donovan Mitchell. Go ahead, Atlanta. Go get DeJounte Murray. Have these little small backcourts for little babies to get on our backs and bully. Bully babies. Bully babies. There's going to be a lot of this kind of talk this year because this is the thing. This is his smack talk, is bully babies. He wants to feed them applesauce and apple juice. Bully the babies in the post. And OG's going to be bullying some babies on the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Atlanta Hawks because they're going to have these undersized backcourts. We know how this is. We had undersized backcourts for years in Toronto with Fred and Kyle. And we've seen how teams will bully them in different ways. Well, we're going to be the bullies now. And we're going to bully Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. We're going to bully DeJounte Murray and Trae Young with our Vision 6'9" and all this stuff. And yeah, get out on our backs, babies. And we're going to bully you and get up on that rim. If Scotty watches my stream, he would probably enjoy this because it's silly stuff, but it's funny, and it is true. It's funny, but all right, let's keep going. Monique is saying Willie Hernangomez probably laughing at all the haters who diss Juancho Hernangomez. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't know who would be dissing Juancho at this point. He's popular. He's cool. He's Bo Cruz. So people would be liking Juancho and stuff like that. And plus, he's a winner, baby. He's a winner. He won at Eurobasket. And he kicked some ass. And he was a clutch player. So he's up on top right now. I don't know how anybody could be dissing him or telling him he's anything other than a winner right now, this week at least. Monique's saying, you missed it, Tom. Oh, okay. You're retracting messages, Tom. That's all right. BTOB's saying, Clink, aging is hard. Yeah. It is, trust me. I can't eat half the things I used to eat when I was younger. I don't eat gluten. I don't do dairy. I don't eat any fried foods anymore because they absolutely kill me. So, yeah, there's a very limited palate for me. And then my girlfriend, she has a very limited palate too for what she can eat. So, we have a lot of very thoughtful decisions about our meals and what we're going to eat and stuff because we have to, because of our diet restrictions and stuff like that. So, yeah, it can be tough. When I was a kid, when I was in my 20s at FSU, I was all beer and pizza. And I'd eat like I was like a goat. I'd eat everybody's leftovers. I didn't care. I'd eat very badly. And I'm paying for it now in my middle age. I'll tell you that right now. So if you're young, don't have bad eating habits. Eat properly right away. In fact, I was telling my niece and nephew when I was in Atlanta, don't be like me. Eat properly. Don't eat so much junk food. Eat right, and it'll really help your body over the long term. Trust me. Just trust me. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Clink saying also for sure. BTOB, getting older happens without any effort of our own, yet it can be physically awkward and often embarrassing. You can also be very graceful. If you just understand and accept it and say, these are my new limitations or something like that, you can still do a lot of crazy things as an older person. Trust me. You really can. Like, that's one thing too, is like they'll limit you with what they think you can do because of your age. And don't let them do that. You can go do whatever you want. There was this one summer we were at Oak Lake in Manitoba, and my dad wanted to get on he wanted to water ski actually. And like my dad, he's up there, but he was fairly young at that time. And I was like, everybody in the family was telling him, no, you can't do this. Like, what happens if you get hurt out there and your age and stuff like that? And I was like, let the man live. Let the man go water ski. I was the only one out of everybody in our family telling them that they should let my dad go water ski if he wants to. Because all the rest of them were like, no, you're too old to water ski. I was like, no, he's not too old. Let him do it and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a little bit of a struggle about perception about age, whether it's the reality of it coming down on you and how you feel physically, but also the way that society treats you and tells you what you can and can't do. Well, there's a lot of very capable older people. And in aging studies that I did in grad school, people are living longer and longer and they have better faculties and different things going on later in age. So don't ever say somebody can't do something because of their age, because you may be shocked at just how much they can do and accomplish at older ages. So that's something to keep in mind. That's what I'll say there. All right, let's keep going. Greg saying, have an amazing day, everyone. Got to go watch my kids do cross country. They run cross country. Cool. I like that. Great job, Lex. Thank you, Greg. Let me know about November 11th. It's a game against Trevor Keels and the Westchester Knicks. We're hunting Larry this year. Yeah, go Greg. Go Greg's kids and your cross country event today too. And I will definitely try and make it for November 11th. Pencil it in, and I'm intending to make this work. And I'll let my lady know, and we'll get it all set up, especially against the Knicks. Yeah, I love cheering against the Knicks, whichever level it is. Tom Duke saying, I wanted Scottie Barnes to answer. He was going to play, so Shane would make the trip. Maybe he will recognize with us our Raptor Freak signs and come sit with us. Tom Duke, I'm telling you right now, if you put some sort of sign that has something to do with his Twitch and that he can recognize that it's you there, he's going to know who you are. At this point, Tommy Duke is somebody that is known in Scotty's world. You have gifted so many subscriptions on his channel. And this is the other thing. The other day before you came in, Scotty got on there, and the first thing he asked everybody was, who's going to be in Victoria at the open scrimmage? I want to know who's going to be there, guys, in the chat. Let me know. And you weren't there yet. And so I said, Tommy Duke's going to be there, Scotty. So look out for Tommy. And he's like, wait, how do you know Tommy's going to be there? Are you guys friends or something? I was like, yeah, Scotty, he's West Coast Raptor Free crew. And we're on both coasts. We're going to be there. Yeah, you're going to be playing. We're going to be there and stuff like that. So he knows that you and I are connected and we're friends. And I'm telling you, he's going to remember your name. Like, I know if I came up to him on the street and I said, I'm the Raptors freak, he'd be like, holy shit, it's you. Because of the so much amount of interaction that we've had on there and stuff like that. So he knows you because you've gifted so many subs recently that you're a name that he's repeated a lot and stuff like that. And he also does know that you're affiliated with me. So I say go in there with a sign that will get you noticed as that. And I'll bet you money he might come over and say something to you and interact with you personally, just because he notices that it's Tommy Duke from the Twitch and stuff like that. So I think you should do this. I really do think you should do this, Tom. And Shane, just go get on that plane. Just take that ticket. Tom has a ticket for you. Go take it and go to the game. Go to the scrimmage. Oh my gosh. All right, Tom Duke's saying, closest we get to seeing a real Raptor game, I will video it. Whoa, Tom's going to go in there and do the Kramer. He's going to go in there and film it the whole time. I want to see if you can get away with that, Tom. But maybe just a little bit. You want to go there and enjoy it and stuff like that. I feel like sometimes people go to these events these days, concerts, games, whatever, and they film so much they're not actually enjoying the game anymore because they're so caught up with filming it and stuff like that. So make sure you enjoy it first. But if you do get some coverage and you are able to share some footage with us, hey, I'll take it too. But yeah, I want you to make sure you have a good time there. That's the most important thing. Greg is saying on his way out, don't forget to like Spike for oh, thanks, Greg. That's nice. And at Tom, I hope that happens for sure. That would be badass. I'm telling you, Tom, you can make this happen if you make the right sign. You got to really make sure you write it the right way and stuff like that. Just to tip your hat and let them know that it's you. You don't have to say, hey, it's Tommy Duke from Twitch or something like that. You might be able to say that. And then he'd be like, oh, there's Tom Duke. There's my Twitch people. And then he'd be like, oh, these are my Twitch OGs. And then he might have to come and say hi to you. Cool Cat saying, I have my ticket for the preseason game in Toronto. Learned my schedule. Very pumped. Well, cool. You're going to be there too. We're going to get together. If you want to hang out with us at the game, we're more than welcome to come. And like I said, I'm going to try and get a way for us to all kind of be together, even though we're not really supposed to be sitting together. I'm going to figure out a way for us to maybe have our own section to sit and just get loud. And it'll be up on the 300 section. But who knows? That could change in different ways. But yeah, we'll figure this out. We're going closer to that game. We'll figure out a meeting time and a place, and we'll all get together and go in. And hopefully we can all hang out and watch the game together and just have a good time. Like Sue, Cool Cat, and the Saborans are talking about coming. Different people like that. I know Monique might be in the building. We can maybe go see Monique also. Tom Duke's saying, look, basket and a ball. Let's go Raptor Freaks. I love it. Evelyn's saying, yeah, let's go Raptor Freaks. Let's go Granny Evelyn. Evelyn's another person that is looking into getting a ticket for that game. If you get in the building also, Evelyn, we'd love to hang out and watch the game with you. I know Adriana really enjoyed meeting you at the meet and greet, and it'd be fun to see you guys hanging out at the game and all of us together and stuff like that. Monique's saying, don't forget the 905 roster should be released in no time. Yeah, all right, this is cool. And they come out with that team for the Raptors 905. I want to see who's on that team. I want to see if some of these names that are on there, like Jalen Harris, is that name going to be on that list? I wonder. Tom Duke saying 905 is going to be stacked with a new and exciting coach. Go Eric Curry. I hope you have a really successful first year coaching the 905, buddy. Cool Cat saying Serge is close with his former Raptors players. They just don't talk about it. A lot of players are still close. Boucher beefed up. He's ready. Yeah. Boucher, I really think that his focus going into the season as a defensive rebounder, energy guy is going to really benefit him. That he's going to come in with his mindset right from day one and trying to play this role, which will be totally different than last year, where he was kind of trying to build off the Tampa year and being more offensive minded and shooting a lot and trying to score a lot. Well, that's not how he's going to approach the season at all. Coming in, he knows what his role is at this point. And it'll be very interesting to see. Like I was predicting yesterday in Scottie's Twitch, I was telling people, Chris is going to get a line like this. You're going to see him get like 6 or 8 points, 15 to 20 rebounds, and like 2 or 3 blocks a game. That's really what I think Chris is going to be doing, is eating up a lot of rebounds this year. That this dude is going to be a board man. And hopefully, well, he got paid this summer. So look for Chris's role to be more focused in on right from the start of the season. And none of this, like Greg put it in his video recently, tinkering around and trying to figure things out. We know what he's going to be and what he's focused. And that's easier for him to just go in and get in and do it, instead of having questions like, well, what is my role? Who am I supposed to be on this team? Well, he knows now. And that'll really orientate him going in the right direction right from the start for the season. And stuff like that. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Wancho had like 2 3-point corner shots real quick in an early clip, then no more. Bo Cruz sign is a guaranteed. I'm glad I don't have to select players. I'm so attached to our players emotionally. I know it's got to be tough. In fact, we were talking about this for a second in the chat. Scotty was so hilarious at this point. We were talking about the training camp battle, and I was saying, like, these are the dudes who are fighting for it: DJ Wilson, Justin Champagnie, Josh Jackson, Juancho Hernan Gomez, and who's the other person? Gabe Brown. Yeah. So I was talking about it, and you could tell Scotty saw my comment, but he didn't react to it or anything like that. And then we kept talking, and then we're talking about Boucher and whether he's not a center. Somebody was trying to say he was a center, and we're saying no. Nick Nurse has said he's not a center. He won't play him at center because a Boston fan was in there trying to tell us that we didn't have a center on our team, and we're like, well, we just drafted Coloco and all this stuff, and so we're having interaction between the chat and not even talking to Scotty. And Scotty at one point saying like, well, what are y'all talking? You guys talking to me? And like, no, Scotty, we're having our own conversation separate from you. Sorry. He's like, oh, okay. Oh, no problem. All right. Forget I'm even here. Because it's like his switch. And he just figures we're all talking to him. But no, we were actually having discussions amongst ourselves. And because he was so into the rec game and he was playing the game. And like, we're just kind of having our own NBA discussions about how we feel about the teams and players going into the season. And some of it was sad. Like we were saying, like somebody's going to get cut. And that's got to be tough for Scotty. Like thinking about things like with Justin doesn't make this team, that's a sad thing to Scottie Barnes because Justin's is like his brother, he said, Justin's my brother, bro. I love Justin. So like there is a good chance that Justin won't make the Raptors this year. And that's sad for these guys to think about and stuff like that. Like I'm on the record for saying DJ Wilson and Juancho because those are the two I think is going to make it. But it could be Josh Jackson. It could be Josh Jackson instead of DJ Wilson. And then you got to cut Gabe Brown, Justin Champagnie, and DJ Wilson. So there's going to be some odd men out, and it is a tough decision. And this is something definitely for Bobby Webster and Nick Nurse and Masai Ujiri. And that we're not educated enough. We can have our own personal opinions. Some people would say, oh, Justin's the funniest guy on the Raptors. We can't cut him. Oh, we love him and stuff like, well, he's also undrafted, and he hasn't made huge leaps from last year and stuff like that. And he's been hurt the whole offseason. So this has not been good for him and stuff like that. So it's going to be tough. We're going to see some tough cuts in the next month for sure. Tom Duke saying, cool cat, me too. We all got to treat them like they are our teammates. I bet Juancho didn't miss those two threes. I'm excited. And Scotty's looked at Juancho's highlights for Euro basketball. He did watch a little bit of it. And he was like, yes, he's really excited to be playing with Bo Cruz. And I think the fact that his money is guaranteed, that it is tipping, and that he played so well at Eurobasket, that he is going to be on our team this year. I think that Bo Cruz is pretty much a lock that he will be playing for us this year. He's not going to get cut and stuff like that. So that's why I didn't include him in that kind of stuff. BTOB saying, Lex, are you featuring the 905 season this year? I actually do cover the 905 during the year. I did last year. So I will react to, I don't watch every single game, but I try to. And I do talk about them on this channel. They're an important part of the Raptors organization and things that we're doing. So I do cover it and do pay attention. So yeah, expect 905 content here also. Yeah, for sure. Logical Raptors fan saying Bojan to the Pistons. Yeah, it's a good piece. It's interesting for them. Like I said, Pistons are going to be somebody. They've already been a team that bugged us and obviously had success with Casey. But I think that this year they're going to make a leap. And, you know, it could be partly because of getting more new rookies like Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham having another year under his belt, just like Scottie Barnes. He's going to expand his game a bit. You know, they have a lot of really good role players on that team. People like Beef Stew, Sadiq Bey. There's a lot of good talent on that team. And if we're going by Coach Casey's model of how he develops teams into playoff teams, they're on schedule to probably be a playoff team either this year or next year. That he's been there for a few years now and that he's done the groundwork, and they should expect to launch into the Pistons fan. You should expect this, that your team's going to be a playoff team very soon because Casey will bring you there. He will. Monique saying Matt Devlin enters his 15th season as play-by-play announcer of the Raptors. Congratulations to Matt Devlin. We're so happy to have you. Ron Jeremy. All right, sorry. I had to do that. All right, hang on. All right, let's keep going. Tom Duke saying, bless you for speaking up about me. You're so fantastic to be associated with you, brother. No problem, Tom. I just saw that moment. I knew you weren't in there. And Scotty asked that question. I said, well, Tommy Duke's going to be there, Scotty. So be ready to see Tommy and stuff like that. Yeah, so big stuff. Patrick Douglas is here. Good to see Patrick Douglas. 905 games are a must this year. I'm going to be coming there, Greg, on Remembrance Day, and I'll come and sit at your table with you and watch the Westchester Knicks get beat down by Eric Curry's Raptors 905. Koloko, gonna get Cho. Yeah, I like it. Cool Cat saying, okay, announce it on your channel so I can look out and all of us can meet at the game. Lots of empty seats at preseason. Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. There'll be a row or something, and we can just go take it over. In fact, like I said, I know ushers at the building because I worked with them like 25 years ago, and they're still there. And I have a lot of friends in the Scottie Bank Arena, people that have worked there for a long, long time that are still very good friends of mine. So, having friends can really help you out in certain ways and stuff like that. So yeah, it may be something like where we meet inside the building at a very specific time, or we can try and meet outside the building near like the pillars that are like this or something like that. We'll figure it out closer to, and then we'll talk about it on the stream definitely by then. And I mean, there's a little bit of time before then. We've got to get into October, have a couple of these preseason games happen, and then we'll get the exact thing nailed down and stuff like that for sure. Cool Cat saying, I think Justin and Delano should be around. If they don't meet the cut, then keep them for 905 for more development. I think Delano should just be given his spot. Like, I hate that he's even in contention for being cut. That's why I'm not even bringing him up into this, because in my mind, I don't even want to think that he could possibly not be on this final roster for us this season. So I haven't even put him in there, but it is true. He's on the block too. Logical Raptors fanatic saying, not gonna lie, we have Champagny signed for this year and next year non-guaranteed. Yeah, but we had Svi signed guaranteed this year also. So this is what we're gonna say. They're gonna eat somebody's money because they have to. That's just the numbers of things. There's only 17 spots on this team. We have 20 guys going into training camp. 3 of them are gonna get cut. And one of them's for sure gonna be Gabe Brown because he's gonna be on the 905 Exhibit 10 route already. Now, the other 2 guys are going to be between Wilson, Champagny, and Jackson. And 2 of those guys are going to get cut. That's what I'm saying. So the odds aren't in his favor. And you go look at Justin's IG these days. It's dark in some places. If he's not sunning Christian Coloco's taking a nap on a trainer's table at OVO Center, it's about people not believing in him. Times are dark, fighting through, making it through, overcoming is what Justin's all about with his narrative on his social media right now. So, yeah, he knows he's in a fight for his career right now, and he's got to come in there. But there's no guarantee for him. Even if he has a guaranteed contract, that doesn't mean he'll make the team and be through. But it could mean, like Cool Cat's saying, that he may just be on the 905 level for this year, and that is still part of the route that he has to go and stuff like that. And that's not really bad. Like Justin, if I was Justin, I'd just be happy to keep a hold on the Raptors organization in some way, in some capacity, at whatever level, because you know that the opportunities will still be coming and you're not completely out, like David Johnson or Armani Brooks and stuff like that. There are levels to this. Cool Cat is saying, I also think Jalen Harris will be in 905. He's not signed to another NBA team. Yeah, that's what we're hoping. I think we still have the rights to him. So hopefully that is true, because he'd be really good on our 905 team. Like I said, let's go get 2 championships this year. Let's win a championship on the main roster, NBA level, Larry O'Brien. And let's go get that G League championship this year too, because our G League team should be very, very good. Very, 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 very good. Fanatic saying, I went over this all in my extension series. I'm going to have to check out your channel. I don't even know it yet. I'm going to have to go find it and stuff like that. Cool Cat saying, Detroit Pistons is a good team. They're developing, and of course they will beat us. We just want to walk away with our limbs. That Ron Jeremy joke. Yeah. Detroit is a very physical team. In fact, they're very similar to us. And that's part of the reason why we don't play well against them compared to the rest of the league, is that we have a very physical brand of basketball where they're playing the same type. And KC just has that extra oomph about like get back. So that's part of it. Is Detroit is probably the most similar team to us in the whole entire league in some ways, with their defensive intensity and the way they play off each other and stuff. So, yeah, that is part of it. I really want us to have success against them this year. I know Scottie wants to have some bragging rights over his buddy Cade Cunningham to say that he's beat him in an NBA game, because he can't say that at this point. Cade has beaten him every single time he's played him so far. So Scottie wants some bragging rights for that. Not to mention, just we need to not be swept by them this season. It's just not a good look. But we understand why this happens. But yeah, that's part of meeting the challenge. They may be even better this year, and they may have swept us last year. But let's change the outcome and results of the games when we play the Pistons this year to W's for Toronto. That's what I want. Yeah, we've had some really bad Pistons fans coming into Scottie's Twitch recently, talking all kinds of trash. Like, there's a lot of anti-Canadian people coming in there, talking just generally about Canadians being garbage people and all this kind of stuff. Very, very, very much like discriminatory kind of blanket prejudice and ideas about all of us. And some of it's very ugly. And the Detroit fan was being like that the other day, really annoying and standing up for them and talking trash. He was a Lions fan, actually. His name was Lions something. Tom Duke was coming down on him, too. We were both getting him, talking all kinds of trash. Yeah, we come over there and take over your building. That's why you hate us. Oh, you hate us because Scottie got Rookie of the Year, not Cade. You know, we're going over all the list. The reason why Piston fans so angry towards Raptors and Scottie Barnes in particular. All right, Tom Duke saying that logical. The first season is only partially guaranteed. The second season is non-guaranteed. Okay, yeah, for Justin. Justin's partially guaranteed. Wancho is guaranteed for sure. And then the rest of them are all partially, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Tom Duke. Yes, facts. Okay. Cool Cat saying we are such a good team and deep playoff goals. So things are very competitive now. Chip planning make it a serious business. This team is not the same team as last year when Ish Wainwright was trying to make the team and he got cut. This is the bar has been raised. That, you know, Yuta and Svi, they're on other teams, and they're at the level where they're trying to make the teams of the Knicks in Brooklyn. They're not guaranteed spots on their teams either. That they're in the positional battles at the end of the roster for the Nets and the Knicks with like Wancho and Justin and Josh Jackson and stuff. They're in similar situations over there. In fact, these like Caboclo got cut by Caboclo. I always say his name wrong. I know. Bruno Caboclo got waived by the Celtics in this similar kind of situation. So Yuta, actually, there's a really cute post by Yuta on Instagram from 12 hours ago. He said, finished moving all my stuff out of my apartment, so I feel like my life in Toronto is officially over. Just want to say thank you again for amazing memories. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to live in this beautiful city. Thank you for an opportunity to play for a great team in front of amazing fans and friends I met there. Thank you guys for everything. You made my life so much easier. Will never forget my days in Toronto. Now I'm super excited to begin my new journey in Brooklyn. Can't wait to see what my future holds for me there. Yeah, this is sad and awful and sucks that he's got to go to Brooklyn, but it is just part of the process and stuff like that. We love you, Yuta. We always will, even though you're wearing the enemy's jersey now. Ooh, Tom Duke saying, what is going to happen to Justin Bieber if Champagny doesn't make the cut? Well, Justin Bieber is not totally affiliated with Champagny. He is a Justin of all Justins, whether it's Bieber, Timberlake, Champagny. It doesn't matter what the Justin is. Trudeau. He takes after all of them. He's very much a Canadian beaver who's just a beaver, and maybe he has some Champagny traits of sunning me, but that's Justin Bieber, and he can operate on his own thing. So he'll be around no matter what, even if Justin gets cut. So don't worry about Justin Bieber, although he could get canceled. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not on the fence. Some of y'all like the puppetry of my show and stuff like that, but I'm also kind of like, man, you know, this may turn off some audiences. It's like, this guy's not that serious. He's fucking popping up with a corn cup and Bret Hart's behind him, kind of talking to Vince and stuff like that. I'm like, maybe I need to cut out the Pee Wee's Playhouse kind of shenanigans of this channel, but maybe I need to double down on it because y'all really like it. I don't know. I'm trying to suss this out in my own mind. Like, I think Justin Bieber is a mainstay no matter what. But do I go more in this direction or do I go away from it? You guys can actually have a big say on this and stuff like that. Because I do want to be somewhat professional. And that may be something that kind of is like somebody's watching my stream and then all of a sudden Justin Bieber jumps up and they're like, okay, I can't watch this guy anymore. It's hilarious. All right, let's see. Delano's a lock. This is what Monique thinks. I think he's a lock too. I think Delano Banton should be a Raptor. He's from Toronto. He's a real one. He's real Toronto. We need to keep him on our team. Holy crap, it's almost noon. All right, this is a good think tank, but I got to watch Survivor. I got to see what happened on Survivor last night. Tom Duke got the little beaver emoticon. That's cool. Fanatic saying that this is my roster guess. He thinks bottom deep bench, Bo Cruz, Flynn, Champagny, Banton, and Coloco. Okay, so you're saying that they'll just cut Jackson, Wilson, and Gabe Brown. Yeah, okay. I mean, these are all different paths and different things that could happen. I really think a big part of what's going to decide this is how good Josh Jackson is. If Josh Jackson is something else and like a little bit of a tier above these other guys, he will snatch this last spot and be on the team with Wancho and Delano and stuff like that. So yeah, that's we got to see what Josh Jackson's at and stuff like that. That's going to be a big, big factor in deciding this. Harper and Downton. Yeah, Harper and Downton are just in already. The two ways are just locked in, and they're just going to be doing the two-way kind of stuff. That's why they're all separated and stuff from this. Cool Cat saying Pascal and Fred VanVleet are now entering their prime, so we can't waste their time and the money we pay them. So we have to build that chips planning team. Yeah, Fred's not wasting time. That's why he said he wants a championship this year. And I really do believe that people are sleeping on the idea of that Precious, Scottie, and other young Raptors can get that much better. Somebody like Gary Trent Jr. I was saying this in Scottie's Twitch yesterday, that if he's more consistent this year, because there was a big argument we were having in the chat between who's better, Gary Trent Jr. or Anthony Simons for the Portland Trailblazers. There's a Trailblazer fan, and they're arguing that Simons is better than Trent. And we had a lot of good arguments against them going back and forth and stuff like that. But I was saying, what if Gary gets to a more consistent level this year where he is absolutely offensive force almost every single game, instead of having some of these Deadwood games where he comes out and he just doesn't have it and we can't play him. Also, I really fully expect Gary to get a 50-point game this season, that he is going to get a 50-point game and stuff like that. So if we think about Gary getting better, because he's a young guy too, Precious getting better, Scottie getting better, and then we have these guys in their prime that Cool Cat has pointed out, we should be very good. We should be very, very good. And nobody should be saying we have a ceiling because we don't have a superstar or anything like that. We have guys that are developing into possible superstars. And there's not even just like one. There's like 2 or 3 guys, 4 guys, 5 guys. They could all be like real superstars and big time players on other teams if they're just the one guy. Like you send Gary Trent Jr. to Orlando, he might look like their best player in some ways and stuff like that. That's what I really believe in some ways. So, all right, let's keep going. Logical saying, Cool Cat, not gonna lie, there's a lot going on with the roster on a building standpoint. The thing about the way that Bobby and Masai do the roster for the Raptors is very much about flexibility. That we have a lot of different directions we can go into. It's almost like we want to kind of preordain our destiny and make moves towards things like getting Coloco, getting Scottie. But also, we don't know what could happen, the unknown. And that we're very good at reacting to unknown things happening and adjusting and making the best of situations, whether it's the pandemic and having to play in Tampa. The way that they had to adjust and do all that was very, very professional and limited the damage that could have been done to our franchise. In fact, some people on the outside looking in from the NBA, looking at our situation, we're probably like, yeah, the Raptors are going to be a horrible franchise because this is going to wreck their whole franchise, having to relocate for a whole season. And just how much damage they do. Well, we weathered that storm so well. And that's why I said the Tampa year was a huge success, because we were going to be horrible and have a failure year no matter what. But we battened down the hatches and sailed that ship through that year without really long-term damage to our franchise that could have happened. Very easily could have happened down there. So that is why I say that year's a success. And Masai would say that year's a success because we got Scottie from it. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, that could have really easily turned things badly for us. And we're very on our feet as far as decision making. It's like, okay, well, if this develops with Scottie down the road, well, then we'll adjust. And we have alternate routes and plans for our future, for our team, depending on different things happening and stuff like that. And because we have our draft picks, we have so many good young players, we have so much opportunity and flexibility towards success that it's undeniable we're going to find it. That these dudes are just really good at figuring it out. and making it happen. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And I love Cool Cat's got the trophy in her picture. Oh, no, Logical's got the trophy in their picture. I love that. I love seeing the Raptors, Larry O'Brien with the Raptor on the ball at the top. That's so good. Yeah, all right, let's keep going. Year 7 for both Fred and Pascal. These guys really have been a set and together most of their all their career, and they really are peas in a pod. And I love that these are the two guys out of everybody who's been in our organization over the last few years that we've stuck with and continued with. These guys and OG. And hopefully some of these other young guys will get added to that collective going forward for sure. Coloco. Yeah, I never said his name right. I didn't say it way back like 10 years ago when we had him as a rookie either then. I don't know what it is. Cabaloco. I'm just going to say it wrong. Tom Duke saying year 7 says a lot about those guys in our front office. Let's go. I believe I'm biased because I love the mascot matchups too. Oh yeah, we're going to have those coming up again. Mascot matchup, one of Tom Duke's favorite segments on this channel when we preview games, the mascot matchup. We'll get back to those. Patrick Douglas saying, love the show. Real is real. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate that. This is one of the best compliments that I hear from you guys from time to time is that like you guys feel like the reality and the realness and just the off the cuff and just coming off the fly with whatever. I mean, seriously, whatever you guys say, I'm reacting to it just off the right now. Boom, right away. Boom. Cool Cat saying, I appreciate that, Patrick. Keep watching, and I appreciate your subscription. For Gary Trent Jr., I want to see 3 levels of scoring from him, some playmaking skills and some more IQ and defensive skills. You know, that's the thing. Gary got really mad at people last season when they try to pigeonhole him as just being a shooter. He describes himself as a scorer, that he's at all levels, like whether it's close to the basket, the mid-range, jump, step to the side, that kind of stuff, or the three-point shooting, obviously, also. Yeah, I want to see more consistency in all that. I want to see, like, I think one of the things that will help Gary get his shot more consistent in scoring and being okay is the better chemistry and synergy between the players and the familiarity that hopefully they can play off each other more this season. They really didn't play off each other correctly last year. A lot of what Gary was manufacturing for his shots was his own like one-on-one play against the defender, just sidestepping them and stuff like that. Well, what if Scottie can get in the paint and draw a double team and then he's kicking it out to Gary more often that way? He may find points easier without having to go one-on-one and beat people in isolation. So I'm really hoping the Raptors play a more team concept on the offensive end this year, that they integrate more playing off of each other. I don't care how it is, whether it's screens at the top with Ken Bird, screen roll, whether it's pick and rolls, whether it's anything like that. I don't want to see as much isolation breakdown like Pascal going on one side of the court, trying to break down his defender and just spin around them. I want to see these guys really play off each other and get their assist numbers up. And I think that that'll really benefit Gary being more consistent, is that when he doesn't have to do so much work to make his shot open, to get open, that he gets easier open shots because the other guys are demanding double teams and they're getting it to him and he's wide open, that kind of stuff. So, all right, Monique, let's go Raptors. Good stuff. I appreciate you, Monique, and everybody else, Cool Cat, Patrick, Tom, Logical Raptors Fanatic. Thank you for your presence today here. I appreciate it. I'm definitely going to check out your channel after this. I love you guys so much. And once again, let's just hear a little bit from our friend Justin Bieber. Hey, guys, listen, Team Canada's off to a 1-0 start in Australia for the women's team. They're going to play tonight at 4 a.m. If you're a real Canadian, you are going to watch the game tonight. I don't care. You just stay up and you watch it. I'm a Beaver. I'm always busy, but I always find time to watch Canadian women's basketball, even if it's at 4 a.m. in the morning. So if you're a true Canadian, you'll be watching it with me. Oh, and by the way, Tom Duke is my son. Oh, yeah. Wait, why are you bringing Tom Duke into this? That is not right. Oh, my gosh. Peace out, everybody. Let's go, Raptors.